The year is 2016. Survivor Series just had their 30th annual Survivor Series. So much stuff happened in 2016, by the way. Drake, he had a song, an album. If you're reading it, it's too late. And if you're watching this is too late. This is the Big Pop Theory podcast. This is the retro review, Survivor Series 2016. The Big Pop Theory podcast. It's an audio podcast. And on the audio side, we talk about the stuff going on in the week of wrestling. As of now, we are doing every other week to talk about this week in wrestling and stuff like that. But here on the YouTube channel, we talk about stuff that happened many, many years ago. This was not that long ago. This was 9 years ago. Last week, we talked about Survivor Series 2001, and that was fantastic. Now we're going to talk about 2016. I'm one of your hosts, the Great Grand Slam Poobah, and I'm not alone. I'm joined with great gents here. I'm joined with the smartest man in the room, Rich Kings. We got my favorite Mark, the casual one, Mark Wins, and we got the oosiest Haitian, the Haitian sensation, Jean Baptiste.
I drink the water today. I made sure I drink enough water today.
You know, there's a bunch of stories that not people who are watching are going to get that only the three of us will get, because I am super glad that you've been drinking water.
I drink plenty of water today. I make sure you drink the water.
You've been drinking the water. You've been drinking the water. I do want to say I don't want to like bury the lead here, but like this was a fun pay-per-view. You know, 2016 was actually a really fun year for WWE. It has its highs and lows, and I feel like that's just anything in professional wrestling, right? But 2016 was a cool year. We had the debut of AJ Styles in the WWE brand. NXT was cooking. Finn Balor was called up. We had it was a small run, but Kevin Owens was the Universal Champion. Honestly, one of my favorite versions of Chris Jericho, The List. I mean, come on. There was so many cool things to talk about here. And I feel like there's so many things I'm missing here in 2016. So SummerSlam 2016, and maybe next year we could review it. It'll be their 10-year anniversary. We could probably chat about it. But
we had no chin music that year. Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton were tag team champions.
Yeah.
What a year. What a year.
And too, that brand split, there was a lot of promise. One of my problems with these brand splits, I do like the brand split. I feel like it can work. It's just they don't take it seriously. When they sit here and say, only a Survivor Series, you can see Raw and SmackDown. That's not true. I just saw this guy from SmackDown be on Raw. Like, you have completely fabricated in front of me.
Lies.
And I don't like that. I don't like when people are part of the fabrication faction, and like you've misled me. So I'm just not big on that. But I look forward to talking about this. I'm talking about that I enjoyed this. Real quick before we break down the show, there's like two things I do want to chat about before the show here. But I do want to ask you guys. I want to ask you guys, since you guys have watched this back, what did you think about this 2016 pay-per-view? I'm going to say pay-per-view because that's what it was called at the time. It was on the network, and I do want to say I miss the WWE network. It was just easy to find things. When I go to Peacock, I can't find nothing at all. Like it's just not as easy as the WWE network, and it was just a great tool. I understand business, and it was a bigger business deal for them to go to Peacock. But man, oh man, selfishly, I miss the WWE network. So, Rich Kings, let me start with you. What did you think about rewatching 2016 Survivor Series?
Yeah, it was like you said, it was really a fun pay-per-view. One thing I did appreciate about watching this back on Peacock, like I know we had watched it at a live event at a restaurant, and then rewatching it again over here. I was looking like these commercials, these ads. I'm like, why is it like it made it feel like you were in 2016 with like the little wrestling toys, whether the story time thing. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
So that was good to actually. It felt like I was living and watching in 2016, which is really good. Another thing I did appreciate about like the whole matches, I felt like I saw almost a whole entire roster on Survivor Series. There was just almost everybody was featured. Like I'm like, well, who's missing? So it was good to see because you don't see that a lot, and we'll get into the matches and get into the talent later on. But I really thought it was very healthy to see almost every superstar that they had available.
Mark Wins.
So when did I watched it, the day of, but then I watched it not yesterday, but the day before. I watched it on Tuesday. And as I'm looking, I'm like, Survivor Series 2016. That sounds familiar. And then, when I clicked it, I was like, oh, this is that one. Oh. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fun. I did enjoy it. It was longer than I expected, but it was longer than I expected, but it didn't drag, which was really impressive. I don't know how to explain that, but there was nothing that was a drag. Well, maybe one match, but that's biased. But other than that, it went really smooth. I do have a question before we continue, and maybe I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna ask a question. Has Toronto always been called the Six, or did Drake invent that?
I feel like Drake did, but I'm not. I can't confirm.
It's only called the Six because that's its area code.
Okay,
but Drake made it popular.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, because you talk about like that Enzo promo, and he said that, right? Like rolling in the Six or something like that.
Well, it wasn't
that was a reference to Drake's song off of if you're reading this.
Yes.
It wasn't
that was literally like that whole promo was a play off of that Drake album. So,
but it wasn't sorry, it wasn't just Enzo. The commentator said it like 5 times. Maybe
they were trying to be hip.
I mean, he's not wrong though, because when I don't believe Michael Cole for 1 minute knows what's going on with Drake at all. So I do concur with Jean Baptiste. But Jean Baptiste, I'm sorry. What did you think about this pay-per-view?
2016 Survivor Series was bittersweet. And I'll tell you why. You watch, and it was a great pay-per-view, hands down. A lot of good came out of that. There was some stuff I saw where I was just like, okay, all right, I don't want to watch this no more. But why I say it's bittersweet is because you go back to 2016 and you look at the roster that we had, and it's like, wow, I miss some of these guys in this business today. And it's like, damn, if only, maybe if there weren't so many budget cuts, or if these guys were pushed correctly, how far could they have actually gone? Because, between 2016 and now, we lost a lot of guys. So it's like, damn. It was a little bittersweet to watch it. And it's just like, damn, I miss some of these talents. And, they all ran off to either join rival companies or go off and do their own thing or retire, whatever the case may be. But yeah, no, it was definitely a bittersweet pay-per-view.
I know we're going to talk about the women, but real quick here, when I was watching like the women, and you see, Sasha, Mercedes Moné, and Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch, and Bayley, and I'm like, wow, a lot of these girls have changed. Like Bayley is not the hugger anymore. Becky is a totally different person from what she was.
Man.
Yeah, she's a totally different I feel like good. I feel like Charlotte, it's still the same, although I feel like more now. I want to keep it into 2016, but just real quick, I feel like they have done a really great job pairing her with Alexa Bliss because she comes off a little bit more likable these days and stuff like that. And Sasha, Mercedes, whatever you want to call it, I try to keep it what the artist wants to be called, and she wants to be called Mercedes. I mean, she's doing some fantastic work, and we're going to talk about her in a bit. But real quick, before we talk about this pay-per-view, I was telling the boys before we started, we're recording on a Thursday, and today is the 20th anniversary of Eddie Guerrero's passing. And I just wanted to pass some words and talk about Eddie Guerrero. I'll sit here and throw out that Eddie wasn't one of my favorites, but as time went on and I got to see some of his stuff, because when he passed, I was in high school, so I didn't get a good chance to really appreciate him. But when I watch back some of his stuff here, I go like, man, if he was still alive, he would have been someone great whose brain you would want to pick. If you're one of those young, inspiring wrestlers, that's the guy you would want to learn from, because Eddie Guerrero was just so damn good. He was so good at, you could love him, right? He did a fantastic job where you would cheer for him, right? But he also did a great job to make you hate this guy. Like, I think about in 2003, I'll never forget this. I don't know the time span, it's been so many years, but in 2003, him and Tajiri was a team. Mm-hmm. And they broke up because Tajiri went through his lowrider. Right, he went through his lowrider. And I'll never forget, he pushed Tajiri off just to check on his lowrider, then looked at, and mind you, Tajiri was pushed on there by another team. It wasn't like Tajiri did it on purpose. But Eddie Guerrero pushed Tajiri off, very upset, then proceeds to beat the hell out of this guy. And he just makes everyone's life miserable. Once again, I don't know the time span of this. Next thing I know, he's on SmackDown, and he goes through the crowd. He's in his hometown, and everyone cheers him. I'm like, did anyone just remember that this guy beat the hell out of a guy for no reason? But whatever. We all cheer him. Everyone's cheering him. John Cena comes out, they boo him, they hate him. But all I know is in that time span, he turned face. I said, what? When did this change happen? And I just want to say Eddie Guerrero was so good. And in 05, I feel like he was just definitely reaching a whole nother level. You know, that storyline with Rey Mysterio. And, you know, the storyline of he can't beat Rey Mysterio and he's becoming obsessed. I mean, Eddie Guerrero was such a great heel. He had this one match before their SummerSlam match in 2005. And it was a match. If Eddie Guerrero won, he couldn't tell the secret to Dom or something like that. Eddie lost. And just like a heel, the following week, he still told the secret. Eddie won! I love that so much. And once again, didn't appreciate that a lot at the age that I was. You know, gone too soon. You hear about him passing at 38. You know, we were young. We were all in high school. You, Jean Baptiste, entering college. And we're in our 30s. And, you know, when I hear stuff like that, just, you know, it sends a shiver up my spine because, you know, that's so young. Just very, very young. But I just wanted to talk about Eddie. Eddie, I mean, of course, he had a lot of classic matches.
The king of lying, cheating, stealing.
And listen, and that's something today that is still being felt right about now. Like, if you look at wrestlers now, they still do the lie, cheating stuff. This week, Dominic Mysterio tried to do it. And I don't want to say he got caught, but the ref didn't know what to do. And I just thought it was so funny because you see John Cena look at him and he winks. And then John Cena proceeded to beat this kid because Cena activated Super Cena. But nonetheless, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Eddie Guerrero. You know, he's one of the, and another thing too, like the Three Amigos. People, you know, we make our characters in these wrestling games, and Jean Baptiste, you've added that into your move set. You know, I just wanted to talk briefly about Eddie Guerrero and just, you know, obviously anybody who was close to him, friends, family. I know they're feeling it today. We send a lot of love your way. That's what I wanted to throw out.
One of the greats, man. Legend in his own right.
I don't know if you gents have anything to say, follow up, but I will move on to the very next thing here to chat about. And this week was the top. It's funny. I screenshotted this thing. It's supposed to say top 2025 PWI. This person was in a rush and put 2023 PWI. So I immediately said, oh my God, I got the wrong list. But it is the 2025 PWI list. And, you know, I was curious because a lot of times when you see these lists, right? You know, sometimes I'll talk to Rich King and we'll talk about like, what are the credentials? What brings this person onto this list? What is it? What are we talking here? I happened to find, excuse me, hiccups. I end up looking up what the credentials was, and they were 5 things here. And the 5 things here are, as I read them: in-ring achievement, win-loss records, championship tournaments won, influence, visibility, and prestige within a promotion and or in the industry, technical ability, varies of moves, quality of matches, and in-ring storytelling. What's that say? Competition, success against the most varied and highest quality opponents, active, minimum 10 single matches, total or barring the 6 such matches in separate months. Gentlemen, do you want to hear what the top 10 are?
I would love to hear the top 10. I have a comment to rip them apart too.
So we'll start with number 10. Number 10 is Rhea Ripley. Number 9 is Naomi. I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with this female here, but I'm gonna try to pronounce it right. It's Saree. I hope I'm saying that name. No, it's Saree. It's Saree.
It might be Saree because it's not. It's a bunch of E's.
Oh.
There may be a.
Okay.
It might be Saree, but it could be Saree. But it's a lot of E's. So like
it's a lot of It's like there's 3 E's, and I apologize for butchering this young lady's name. 7th is Athena. Number 6 is Io Sky. Number 5 is Stephanie Vaquer. Number 4 is Tiffany Stratton. Number 3 is Saya Kamehameha. Number 2 is Timeless Toni Storm, and number 1 is Mercedes Moné. Jean Baptiste, you said you wanted to rip this apart, so I'm interested on hearing what your thoughts are about this top.
Tiffany Stratton has no business at number 3 or 4, whatever that was. She needs to be 4. She needs to be 40. Okay, she has no. Tiffany Stratton has done nothing of significance this entire year. Her entire championship reign. It's Really? Because I still have yet to see that. Let's stop the games. You don't tell good stories. Your promo skills suck. Your in-ring presence, I've never felt it. I didn't even know you had in-ring presence. The only thing that you stood tall above with all that is you had a championship win. And what have you done with that title run? Nothing. How many matches has she had this year with that title? How many times has she defended that title?
Well, I can't tell you how many times she defended.
I can count it on one hand. 2. And on the second time she lost.
Yeah,
maybe
it's not 2. Not 2.
Like,
I thought I was the casual. What the fuck is you talking about, Jay?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, at least be on point, brother. At least
like Tiffany Stratton, no business up there. Io Scott. This year, nothing. Nothing. You had the women's title championship. You were submitted to backstage segments. I barely knew you were the champion. Like when I have to sit there and wonder who the women's champion is, and Io Sky has the belt, there's a problem. She's a great athlete, which sucks because I don't blame her. I blame the booking that they did for her. Like you won the title at WrestleMania, you defended it maybe once, maybe twice, lost it the second time you defended it. Okay, but what have you really done? How are you on this list? I'm sorry, you're number what, 7, 6?
Number 6.
Number 6. Add a 0 at the end. I'm sorry, you've done nothing. Rhea Ripley. The last time I heard her tell a great story, any type of in-ring story, was probably her, Liv Morgan, and Dominic Mysterio. Otherwise, all I've ever heard was, I'm going to take back the title. I never lost, and you never took it back. No. Now, I will give you this. You had a great WrestleMania triple threat match. But afterwards, what have I really seen out of Rhea Ripley? You get yourself in title matches, and you lose. But yet your motto is, I'm going to take back the title. I never lost, No, you're not taking shit back. Stop it. Get off the top 10. No business up there. Who else did they have on this list?
Tony Storm.
Timeless Tony Storm. I will give you that. Because I watched some of her AEW stuff. Great. I will give her that. Congrats. You made it a long way. I'm cool with that. Brother, I think she deserves to be a little bit higher, but I will give her that.
You mean she should be number 1? Because the next thing was number 1. She's number 2. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I honestly think it's interchangeable because I do think Tony Storm, Timeless, the gimmick is just it's really good. Like if it was number 1, I wouldn't be mad.
I wouldn't be mad either. Mercedes Moné is just, but unfortunately, because Mercedes Moné has what, 12 to 13 title belts. I guess you really can't beat that at this point. You're just booked into the strategy at this point.
To be honest, and the belts should be very, very important, but also the match quality that Mercedes put on, those matches do be. Those are also other things too to include is the match quality and like the stuff.
Match quality is a part of that. Then Tiffany Stratton don't deserve no business on this fucking list. Get that box fest job out of here. Hell no, she don't belong in this list.
I will pass the floor down to. I was going to say it was 6.
On paper, Tiffany Stratton had a phenomenal run. And I'm saying that as someone that doesn't watch the product often enough to sit there and be like, nah, she doesn't deserve it. But like I said, the other name that caught my eye was one JC Jane at 11.
You beat me to it! I was going to say it! I was going to say you beat me to it! Oh my God, can I talk about her? I am so happy for my girl. She made number 11. Now, she didn't make the top 10. I admit she didn't make that, but she was damn close.
If I'm wrong, let me know. She's the highest rated NXT girl, right?
Yeah.
I would have put her over Tiffany Stratton any day of the fucking week.
All I'm going to simply say here, JC's in the greatest NXT Women's Champion, and seeing her so darn close to the top 10, I was going to say it, but I'm so glad that Mark beat me to it. God, matter of fact, I was so happy when I saw this. I said, and everyone called me crazy. Everyone called me crazy
for years.
Yeah. And Mark, I do want to throw it out here one more time. And I want to give you the floor here, Rich Kings. But Mark wins. You said you happened to hop on Facebook one Tuesday night, and what did you see? What was the first thing that you saw?
I saw that she had won, and I was like, "Oh, look at that!" And like, it was really interesting because she beat Stephanie Vacchier, who's number 5 on the list. Stephanie goes to.
I forgot about Stephanie Vacchier. What has she done this year?
Hold on, wait.
What? I'm sorry. Oh, no. Wait.
I was gonna.
Wait.
There we go.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? What has Stephanie Valkyrie done?
Wait, what?
I say it again. What has Stephanie Valkyrie done?
Really? I mean, she really did. Yeah.
She ran NXT before Jason
Hold on,
James started running it.
What did Rich King want to say? I'm sorry.
No. Mark, this is your segment. Go on. But
yeah, did she not run NXT?
She did. And she was a double. She was a double champion. She held the NXT Women's Champion. Like, honestly, if I'm being honest, and let me interrupt you, I would have had Stephanie over Tiffany personally.
Fair enough. I understand.
I would have, but Stephanie has done things like I think for a lot of people, because for some people,
and she's
my bad. I confused her with Julia. My fault. I forgot those two got called up at the same time. My bad. Apologies. Stephanie Valkyrie as well, right?
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And it was Julia who just lost the U.S. Championship, right?
Yes.
Okay, my bad. I got him confused. Carry on.
Rich King, I'm gonna let Rich Kings get the floor because I feel he's been so patient. Rich Kings, please tell us what you think about this list.
No, I agree with a lot of Mark's sentiments, and I think we're on the same page with JC Jane being 11. Like, okay, I would put her a little higher on this list. Tiffany Strand for me, like going back to just what they said, right? And if you didn't hear the great over here say this one more time, I'll just repeat what it just says here. It says she has the visibility. I'll give Tiffany that. Match quality lost. At that part. If you don't have the match quality.
I knew it. Thank you.
That to me kind of like she should be pushed down a little bit. The competition, right? So we said this show after show is Nia Jax or Jade Cargill, and that's all we saw consistently, right? So when we're looking at scaling it for the competition lens, I'm not too sure what they're looking at. Yes, they're sprinkling Trish Stratus. Yes, they're sprinkling Charlotte Flair. But that's not enough competition to validate.
I agree. For
a position that she's looking at the variety of moves. What's that like? Show me your moves. I can't
I'm so mad you bust that out there. That is hilarious.
If you're gonna put her in there based off those things, I'm sorry, she doesn't like. I can't put her that high where she's at the list. Now, what I would say, I would definitely will move JC Jane up. I think Stephanie, I'll put maybe 3. I do agree with the top 3. Top 3 should be Mercedes, Toni Storm, but for me, Stephanie, NXT champion, Raw champion, took the story. Like, she just came in and took care of business, right? And for me, my biggest gripe about this list is Naomi being 9th. Like, I'm lost. Like, she won Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
That's right. So, granted, yeah, she's pregnant. She's out half the year. So if you're gonna use that,
no, I wasn't. What is Liv Morgan? I'm sorry. Oh, she's 12. Okay.
She's 12.
She's been gone for how long has she been off TV?
Who?
Liv Morgan been off since I think May.
How many months?
May or June, maybe.
Like I think early May. Early May, she fucked up her shoulder.
I was just only going to sit here and say, because I just wanted to throw this in here too, because I know Rich King, you was mentioning about Naomi being 9. I just wanted to say the evaluation period. I just thought this was important to throw this out here. Was from October 1st of last year to September 30th of this year.
Naomi for what? The first, like even when she became champion, those 2 months were. I would go
even a little bit. I would even go a little bit further because when she turned heel,
even when she turned heel, I will give her from the beginning of her heel run to when she had to vacate the title because she was pregnant. Mm-hmm. I would blast that off way over fucking Tiffany Stratton. Get the fuck out of here.
So I'm going to be honest. I
love this energy. I'm going to reference it later.
I can't because I don't remember all the stuff Tiffany was doing. Because I don't have this hate for Tiffany. I just think the way she was booked was awful. I really sincerely do. Like, I just think that her being a babyface didn't help her being she's better off as a heel. And I also think because I can't, there's no argument with that. Like, they kept giving her the same opponents and it just wasn't fun. Like, it wasn't a good title reign and it was terrible. But I can't say her match quality was awful, but like I said, I would have Stephanie over her though. I just think Stephanie has just put on a better body of work than her. And I mean, I'm going to exclude the main roster stuff. Like when I watched her in NXT, I saw what she can do. I went to one of Roadblock earlier this year, and she beat Julia in a really good match. It was one of my favorite shows I went to so far this year. She's put on some really good matches. Stuff she did with Jordan Grace and that Fatal 4-Way. I mean, I know me and Rich Kings were out there at Stand Deliver. I know you watched it, Mark Wins. Who was it with? Jada Parker and Julia and Jordan Grace. I mean, she's put on some really good stuff. So her being number 5 and picking over Tiffany, I don't agree with that. But I'm so happy about my gal. She made the list. She's so happy. Look at her. She's full of joy. She's so full of joy. I'm so happy.
But
I'm going to use that as my picture when I crash out. But go ahead.
I know what they're saying, but I just want to say something. They talked about singles matches, right? And like a lot of these, it's kind of hard to say like these wrestlers are having, these women wrestlers are having all these singles matches. So then I'm looking at, I hear your body of work, but the list to me is just almost trash when they further after 15 becomes a little ridiculous. If you have Charlotte Flair in the 40s, you got Jade Cargill in the 50s, you like some of these people like I love me some Nia Jax, but if you're saying from October to now, she should be dropped down then. Because like if it's a win-loss record, that's one of the first 2 sentences. She's lost more than she won. Right?
I'm sorry, who are we talking about? Nia?
Jax. And I think the real shame here of this list is like, where's Raquel Rodriguez? Now I love me some Liv Morgan, but Raquel Rodriguez has really supported and elevated that women's tag team titles. And she had a list.
Roxanne not on the list.
She's not on the list. I was gonna say I thought she was further down. I was gonna say she's
gone. She's like a ghost. It's almost like she did not exist this year. So women's tag team champion. I guess I get it. Win-loss record, but then you talk about singles, but then you're gonna give me people that I've probably never even heard of before on this list.
Oh, there's a good portion of people on that list I've definitely never heard of. But
no,
I always
all right. So like, I always go to defend the people that you've never heard of that's on the list. Like they might be working New Japan, and New Japan is a big wrestling country. Like we're not going to pretend that New Japan.
I was going to also say I was going to also mention Stardom because I never want to be that individual. Be like, oh, this person don't deserve to be on the list. I just simply that's why I will go with I'm not familiar with this person's work, so I always just give that I'm
not saying they don't belong on the list, but what I'm saying is somebody that is on a premier brand, that's someone that you see in front of your face, should not be absent from the list. Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm sorry, Charlotte Flair had maybe a third a time on this list because even after WrestleMania she disappeared for a little bit, then she came back. So Charlotte Flair wasn't on TV as consistent as Raquel Perez was, but she still.
That's what you're saying, yeah.
No, she was. I was actually gonna mention Charlotte. I mean, her making this. She made the list, right? I'm not sure.
I think 43, 45.
But I don't.
So my question is, where's Becky Lynch?
She's lower. I think
not on the list. Not on the list.
Not on the list. Not on the list.
Lynch is not on the list.
Well, I mean, to be. Let me just ask this. Let me ask this because Becky returned this year. Do you think? So when she came back in April, that little bit of time she could have been on this list, and I'm just asking you guys.
If y'all putting Tiffany fucking Stratton as number 4, then
okay. No. I'm sorry. The question is simply.
Hey. I maybe because when was the last time Bianca Belair wrestled?
It was in April of this year.
She's on the list.
WrestleMania was her last time.
And she's on the list.
How about this, Natalya?
Okay, we're not gonna play. We're not gonna. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna accept no Natalya slander. I like Natalya. Good for her. Look, I will sit here. No, absolutely not. I'm not gonna accept this. I like Natalya.
Oh, wait.
What are you gonna say? What?
When's the last time she's won a match?
Well, she was on TV.
Right, so no, she's not on the list. Like no,
she's on. Well, she's there. I'm sorry.
74. She's in the top 1/3. Like
because she's a heart. That's why. I'm sorry. She's a heart. Yes.
Good. She was pretty much the main plot twist of WrestlePalooza. Her versus AJ Lee. That was something crazy. Everybody's talking about, right? When's the last time we even talked about Natalya?
I did yesterday.
Becky Lynch elevated the Intercontinental title. She makes that shit look like a world champion. She's not on this list.
Come on, dog. I don't listen. You know what? And we've went on long because I did want to talk about it, but I did not want this to be the chunk of the show. But I do want because it's so great. But I know how we all get.
There's some valid points here because I love Bianca Belair. She probably shouldn't be on the list this year.
No, she should be. Piper Nevin. Like these people. Oh, let's move on next.
Next, yeah.
So let's talk about the show. I mean, I know you guys. We hope that you guys stayed tuned. You guys wanted to hear some Survivor Series. The show took place at the Air Canada Center at Toronto, Ontario, Canada, my hometown. I look forward to talking about. I know Gene don't believe this, but I think it's important I show you this because I don't think you believe about my Canadian residency right here. So there you go. Just thought it was important that I share
Country
this.
of state where Brett is from. They issued 1904. How fucking old is it?
There we go. I just want everyone to see my Canadian ID here.
This was after he beat. This was a couple. Well, I guess a couple decades after he beat Abe Lincoln.
Thanks, Mark. See, someone gets it. But this is this pay-per-view takes place on November 20th, 2016. This makes the second Survivor Series to take place in Canada since 1997. And like I said earlier, the 30th anniversary of Survivor Series makes you realize, it's funny, they've thought about actually canceling Survivor Series a few times or a few years back. And I'm glad that they didn't because it's one of their main big fours. Like, you don't get rid of Royal Rumble. You don't get rid of WrestleMania. You damn sure don't get rid of WrestleMania, right? You don't get rid of SummerSlam, and you don't get rid of Survivor Series. Money in the Bank.
Original four.
Yeah. Yes, Mark.
I heard that like TKO is trying to eliminate some of Vince's pay-per-views. Is it Survivor Series though? Like, relax.
They're not touching. They went back on that. They're not touching any of the big four, but the remainders, yeah, definitely, but not the big four.
Listen, I'm cool if they get rid of Money in the Bank. I don't think Hell in a Cell is a pay-per-view anymore, which is good.
WrestlePalooza needs to go.
I know people don't like the name, but I'm cool with the name. But like, my only thing I didn't like was when they were like, "Yeah, Triple H, like he created WrestlePalooza." I'm like, nah, that was
Paul Heyman.
Yeah, that was easy. Matter of fact, someone went even further. They were like, that was a thing from Married with Children. It was called WrestlePalooza with King Kong Bundy going against the Sun. So I just think that was actually hilarious. But nonetheless, let's talk about this pay-per-view. I have for the opening here, I put the opening. I thought it was cool that they had the 2K17 gameplay there because they got to sell video games. They have this video of Brock and Goldberg and they're fighting and they're having this epic encounter. And I said, they're not going to fight in the back room. What are you doing? But like, whatever. It's cool. 2K17 was a fun game. So they're doing all this stuff. So I just wanted to sit here and say I thought the opening was cool. And then you see the commentary team. You have JBL, Mauro Ronaldo. What am I saying his name right? What's his name? Mauro Ronaldo.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Corey Grave and Byron Saxton. So at first I thought this was going to be the core team, not realizing they were going to be rotating commentators. So I see this, I'm like, oh, okay. That's cool. I like Murad. I know I'm butchering his name, but I like him a lot. I've watched a lot of his stuff when he was on NXT. He was making a lot of great calls. He's great. JBL is hilarious. Corey Graves, he's cool. And Byron Saxton, they always treat him like the geek. Just seems like no one just likes his presence. But the opener here it's the female Survivor Series match. It's Raw versus SmackDown, obviously. Raw team, they have a pretty good team. Bayley, Alexa Fox, Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte Flair. I didn't realize this because at first I thought Dana Brooke was on the group, and I was like, I don't remember being in this team. But then I was like, oh, right, she used to be paired up with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, by the way, who is the women's world champion. This week, she was the tag champion. I said she's never without a belt, but she's the women's world champion. And they go against Team SmackDown with Becky Lynch, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, and the team captain was Nikki Bella. And when everyone's waiting for her to come out, she doesn't come out at all. But you know who do? Number 75, Natalya! And you know what? Look, I'll sit here and say this. I know Natalya is not the most charismatic individual and stuff like that, but I've said this on the Big Pop Theory podcast before. If I had a wrestling promotion, I would have Natalya. And if you say like in ring or anything like that, I would have her to train the girls because no one's going to sit here and tell me that girl don't know how to work. But she takes in for Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella is just there. She said someone hit me and I didn't see him. I kind of hate when they do that. It seems so kind of lazy. Like you didn't see no one saw this girl get hit, but it's fine. I'm not going to break down all the eliminations and stuff like that, but they gave these girls a lot of time. This match goes 17 minutes and 30 seconds. And you know what? When I was watching this match, I like to spotlight people, right? It was really cool seeing Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox I don't know if she gets a lot of love, but she should get a lot of love because she was very entertaining, especially when she was the kooky heel, the wacky heel, if you will. One of the best Northern suplexes I've ever seen in my life. When she does it, there's nobody that can top the way that she does it. So I just want to sit here and say, and shout out to her too, because she's battled demons, she's clean, and she's still doing this. She's in TNA now. So I just wanted to give her that shout out here. Nia Jax, she just got called up to the main roster in 2016 when they had the brand split, and they feature her as a dominant force. There was one spot in the match where all the girls were fighting and she just had enough of this shit and she just pushed everyone like all SmackDown on one side and told the girls get this shit together because she want to win. Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné. She's out there. I was surprised. I felt like she got eliminated a lot quicker than I remembered. Like there was a spot in the match where like she just got rolled up or something like that. And I said, what's happening here? What happened?
That's the most devastating move in WWE, the fruit roll up.
It is. It works every time. It's actually my finisher in 2K25 right now. I pinned Andre the Giant with it. He didn't know how to get out of it. Alexa Bliss is amazing
that
too.
Insane. I'm saying like from a game standpoint, right? To have that as your finisher, and because it's your finisher, it gets like that extra finisher boost. So you got to like really match the shit. That's crazy.
That is hilarious, right? Well, it's not actually like a finisher. Like you can have it in the game as like a surprise roll up, if you will, something like that.
Oh, okay.
When you come out here, next time you come out here and stuff, I know we were talking about Survivor Series. I'll show you something. I already got like models of you guys in there, so you could take a look at it. A few things like I wanted to mention. Alexa Bliss here, and it's amazing too when I see Alexa Bliss, and I'm just like, and I remember her running NXT. You know, when she started as the fairy, the pixel princess, and then she became such a heel. And she ended up having such a good run on SmackDown. Like when she was on NXT, she didn't win any kind of championship. Same thing with Becky Lynch. She didn't win the women's champion until she went back a few years ago, of course. But Alexa Bliss, you know, I'm seeing all these girls. I'm like, man, they've all changed in so many ways, in so many different ways. Alexa Bliss is not the same Alexa Bliss. Like she used to be the 5 foot furry, Fury, Fury. Wanted to make sure I said that right. And now she's like this combination of that and you know, the Fiend stuff that she did with Bray. We're going to talk about Bray later. But I enjoyed this match. I thought it was fun. I thought it was very fun. I did like the finish. I did like when Bayley came out of nowhere with the belly to belly and pinned Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is funny too because she made Nia Jax tap. And I was just saying, wow, it's amazing how a few years later these two will be synced forever. You know, this is 2016, so I want to say 2018 is when Nia hits the brutal punch, and Becky has that what people would say Becky's stone cold moment with the blood coming down the nose, and she's going.
She never looked more beautiful.
Seth Rollins would agree. But I thought this was fun. So you know, I'm running my mouth here, but I'll give you the floor here, Jean Baptiste, since you spoke. What did you think about this match?
This match would have been amazing. There's only one problem: Charlotte Flair.
That's the move to use. Like guaranteed win. But the count outs, like there were certain things like typical Survivor Series match. But I think for the women's match, it was a great way, fun way to start. I think I appreciate how every woman came out. You see the little beef they had with each other, stuff like that. Charlotte. But it's good, like to your point, like it's good to see these women 10 years ago and what they are now, right? Seeing how Becky Lynch, almost like that crazed, controlled, like I'm like, I wasn't a fan of that, but I love how she evolved to what she is now. But back to that match, I think for me, my highlight was the end. Like Charlotte, like I hear what you're saying about Charlotte, and I know you don't like her, Jean Baptiste, and I don't know why you don't like her so much, but at the end of the day, that woman knows how to do what? Wrestle. She's here to wrestle. And if she's here also to win, Hey, it is what it is. And I love the heel tactics after she raised her hand. Just destroys Bailey. Like, listen, lady, this is my ring, and this is what I do. And she will remind you, she talks the most crap, I think, in that match, and even fast forward to now, she consistently talks the most trash to the women. Like, when she eliminated Alexa Bliss, what did she say? Get out of my ring. Like, and pointed in a direction. And we're like, and kicked her out of the ring. Like, I told you to get out of my ring. Like, she is just so good. Her character is heelish, and that's why it works. And maybe and it's someone like you that you should appreciate a heel instead of like thrashing the heel. But I'm gonna pass this back
on. Mark wins. Take the floor.
I did enjoy the match. I remember when I saw this match today, like not today, but like a few days ago. I don't remember it. I don't remember this match much like the day of, but like I looked at watching this match and I'm looking at the lineup and I was like, yo, there's no way SmackDown wins this, right? Because like
no,
Raw's lineup is crazy, right? I'll be a little crass here. Alicia Fox is hot. I don't remember Alicia Fox, so like when I saw her, I was like, "What the hell is this?" I was confused. And then when they said she was a 10-year veteran, I was like, "How did I miss this?" I was confused. Nia Jax had this makeup, and it did her no favors. Like, I don't think Nia Jax is ugly, but if this was like my first impression of her, what happened? I don't know. Like, was that like I don't understand it because I saw it and I was like, why they do that to her? Like, I don't understand. What else?
You know what? It was bad makeup. They did bad that one, but it's just a bad makeup person because I never see a little of that ever again after that.
Right.
But,
right before or after, I was really confused. I was like, who did this? Why did did she lose a bet? I didn't understand what that was about. What happened here? Right, Naomi got counted out. That was crazy. Freaking Charlotte had the test boot. So we was talking about the big boot test, the big boot from Test, and Charlotte hit that boot, and I was like, ah, that shit was fire. So
she actually really, and I think she did in this match, but she really beats people with that.
Yeah,
even outside this match, yeah, she does.
She beat Natalya with it, yeah.
Number 75.
So here was something I noticed. Becky Lynch makes Nia Jax tap out with the disarmer.
Yes.
Almost immediately after tapping out, Nia Jax's arm is at full strength. She drags Becky Lynch out the ring. And I don't want to say destroys her, but like she does damage. Yeah, like she does damage. Because like I don't want to say destroy because I don't think she wasn't the next person eliminated. I think Bliss was no, that's what happened. She got destroyed. Bliss tagged herself in to try and like protect But it didn't work because she got booted. And that was the thing. And then boom, Bailey ends up eliminating Becky Lynch. So boom, Raw wins as expected. And then as Jean-Baptiste loves, here's Charlotte stuffing herself down everybody's throat with the heel tactics, absolutely beating Bailey's ass. And I just laughed. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I just laughed because when I saw that happen, I immediately thought of Jean-Baptiste. Because I was like, yes, I know he's loving this right now. But overall, I loved the match. I enjoyed it. I would say I'd give it an 8 out of 10, maybe 9. I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd say 8 out of 8 or I'd say 8 out of 10. It probably maybe. I feel like there was some botches, but I don't remember them. But I enjoyed the match. 8 out of 10 match.
Yeah, no, it was a fun match. I think they had the right elements in this match. You know, it's amazing hearing that. Like you hear about Alicia Fox being there for 10 years and you're like, really? Like, I don't know. I just cracked me up hearing you do that. But yeah, I think they had the right elements here. And I think just this was cool because Nia just got called up. Yeah, she's been around for a minute, bro. She's been around for a minute. She did a lot of stuff with, I don't know if it was FCW or stuff like that, but she was like matter of fact, I remember the first time I saw her, even though this was maybe 08, I remember she was on ECW one time. And this was like I don't know, 08, 09 or something like that. I forget, but she's been around for a minute.
Was she one of the dancers with Naomi with Brodus Clay around that time?
No, that was the other girl, Cameron. No, that was the other girl.
Okay.
Yeah,
I had to ask.
Matter of fact, you know who Alicia? Okay. Do you remember the girl that Edge kissed and it was revealed to be it was another girl and Vicky saw it? That was Alicia Fox.
Oh.
Yeah. And this goes back some time. This is like 07 or something like that. I forget how long ago, but it's been a minute, is my point. Okay, so let's move on. So the next match we have the Miz going against Sami Zayn. We got a new announce team. Michael Cole and David Otunga show up. Who?
Punky. I love New York.
Oh, it was Punk.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was Punky.
No, it was just Punk. No, it was just called Punk. Yeah. No. I'm sorry, because I was throwing up from it. No, his name was Punk. Yeah. Matter of fact, it's funny you say that because I remember reading, because I used to read like Wrestling Zone and a bunch of other wrestling news. I don't do that so much these days anymore. But like I'll read the thing and it'll be like, yeah, this guy, they said his name, but I didn't know his name. But it's like Punk from I Love New York wants to be a wrestler. I said, Punk?
Still a thing?
It might be. I think it is. I
it
think
sure is.
Yeah.
That used to be my
that used to be my site for many years. That used to be my site for many years. But right, we get David Otunga and JBL and Barry Saxton still stays out there.
Why?
This is for the Intercontinental Championship. A few weeks prior, Miz beat Dolph Ziggler for the IC Championship. Now, if my memory serves correctly, Dolph Ziggler beat Miz for the Intercontinental Championship at No Mercy. And, Dolph Ziggler, that was the match where it was Miz. If Dolph Ziggler lost his career would be done. He wins it. He has a little bit of a run here. And I do want to give the Miz his flowers here. I know, like, Mark's not the biggest Miz fan here, but Miz did a fantastic job bringing prestige to that Intercontinental Championship. Something that Gunther did, a few years back. I don't know. Everything seems so together for me, but Miz did a really good job with that. He has this match with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn won a number one contender match, beating Rusev. And this is not the Sami Zayn now. Like the quote Shay Sawyer, when Sami Zayn and John Cena had a match, she said they had a power off or something like that, meaning like they go super. Oh, they had a super off. That's what that's called. Like John Cena will hit him with an AA, he'll kick out. Pretty much they'll hit their finishes and they'll just kick out. It's just almost like a Dragon Ball fight. It's actually kind of comical. So this is not the same Sami Zayn. This is Sami Zayn who, this is a different Sami Zayn. This ain't long hair Sami Zayn. And matter of fact, when I saw him, I was just like, wow, I forgot about this Sami Zayn. I thought the match was solid. Don't really have a whole heck of a lot to say. They give him some time, 14 minutes and 5 seconds. Wasn't bad. Nothing I was crazy about. They did that finish that when we did the he already know I'm going with. Because you remember that Saturday night main event with Dominic Mysterio. And here it is right here. Maurice, everyone, if you ever get in a relationship, get yourself a girl like Maurice, because she was down for her man. She rung the bell. Sami Zayn waves his hand like a fool, like I did it. and it's revealed that Maurice did it, and Miz take advantage and get the pin here. So Miz retains. It wasn't Sami Zayn's night. Years later, he would end up winning that Intercontinental Championship. But yeah, I thought the match was fine. It was there. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It was there. They wanted to do something different. Rich Kings, what did you think about the Miz versus Sami Zayn?
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. But to me, this was probably my second least favorite match of the night. I just think that you said it's not a different Sami Zayn. I think it's almost the same Sami Zayn. He loses. He's an underdog. He's like,
but you know what? Is he really an underdog? How is he an underdog when he ends up winning a lot? He does win a lot. Like if we're talking about now, he does win a lot.
We're saying he's an underdog. I think his character.
No, I'm not saying that at all. Oh, he's saying that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't call him an underdog at all. But I was brought to my attention.
He is what he is. Now I think for him, like, has he ever won the big title yet? No, right?
No.
But the thing is, like, Yeah, not yet, but
Not yet or ever. Not yet or never. Like
Not yet. Not yet. I
So
think
we
it's not
really
yet.
think. Time out. Hold on. I'm asking because I'm curious because I think it's interesting. I didn't know that Sami Zayn is a main. Has he main evented anything?
He did
Yeah.
main event WrestleMania. Yep.
and he
Okay.
also was in the match with Roman in the elimination. Was it elimination chamber?
You're right. Elimination. You
Yep.
are correct, sir. Yep.
I was just asking because I found it interesting because y'all said yet, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, wow, he hasn't won anything yet, and I'm sitting there thinking, is it too late? Like because this is 2016, we're in 2025.
If Jason Yeterman can get himself a world title match and win, Sami Zayn's not too far behind.
Listen, I think that he could. I think that he could win the heavyweight championship overall.
Yeah.
I see that. I see that. I see that.
Undisputed title? Absolutely fucking not. But definitely world heavyweight.
I want to say absolutely not. I can see a way, but I can see him win the heavyweight. I would say I can see him win the heavyweight before that.
And I will never say he can never do that. When I look at Jinder Mahal was the WWE champion, so I will never. I refuse to say that.
And Jack Swagger.
And Jack Swagger. And listen, this is no disrespect to any of these individuals, but it just lets you know that hey, anything can possibly happen.
Well, if I were
From
to ask
Jabba the Champion, the Ginger My Ball story.
honestly speaking, I want to ask you 5 years ago, do you see Cody
Sure.
Rhodes? This version of Cody Rhodes.
Absolutely. No, right. Yeah, that's a good point. Like I think it's easy to dismiss. I only sit here and say it's only too late or it's over if you're no longer with the company. So I still think there's a chance for Sami Zayn to be. I do see World Heavyweight Champion. I totally see that. I'm on board with what you're saying, Rich King. But I also don't take out the possibility that he cannot win the Undisputed Championship.
Right.
I'll throw that out there.
We're on page with that one. But yeah, typically, like, it's sad that he lost. And, like, it's almost I'm still seeing the same character 10 years later. Just at a different.
You really feel that way? You really feel that way? Because I feel like I feel like he has a lot more character now than he did before. Before he was just, he was. So when he was on NXT, he was the heart and soul kind of guy, right? And he'll come out, he'll do like the little silly dance and everything like. But even now, and maybe I'm just thinking more about the bloodline stuff and how entertaining that was. Because that's more of the Sami Zayn I'm thinking about.
That was a era of Sami Zayn, right? So obviously, even the joke with that WrestleMania match he had with the guy from Jackass, that was like, what are we doing here, right? So I think the bloodline stirred him in a different direction, but I think maybe it's the consistency of listen, it's 10 years, right? Same music, same head nod. Let's go. It's like
not the head nod. Hold on. Hold on, player. There was a period of time where you had a different music, and it was not good. It wasn't as this much.
It was horrible.
It was terrible. Hold on, Rich King. Hold on. I'm sorry. Just for entertainment values. You said the head nod. How did that look?
Like, this lip up, and then we do the let's go, and then he's like,
hold on, wait, time out. You don't like the feel good Doug music?
No, like listen. The only thing that's changed with Sami Zayn is now he looks like he came from Home Depot. He came from his shift at Home Depot to come to Raw. That's the only thing that's freaking changed about Sami Zayn. Like otherwise, he has the Rey Mysterio syndrome. You lose every match until it really counts. So it is.
I want to say that listen, and I'm a fan of Sami Zayn, right? And I'm a fan. I don't know why he always loses to Kevin Owens, but like that's another story for another day. But I think I think he loses a lot more than he wins.
He do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So all I'm saying is that I would like to see him actually eventually win a championship besides the Intercontinental or Tag or US. That's all I'm saying. I think when I think about progression, if you look at the characters that we see, there's progression over the last 10 years. Most people, either you're released like goodbye, or you moved up the ladder. He's been consistent, like a flat line.
Wow, really? I honestly don't even like. Really though, too, and I'm not like this super Sammy fan. Like he doesn't bother me, but I'm just not like, like he's just not my guy, right? But I feel like there's been all these different changes from his heel turn. Like he was a totally different I felt like he was a totally different person when he was teaming up with KO, and then there was that period of time when he was on his own, and he had that conspiracy theory kind of thing going on, and he was wearing the cargo pants and that kind of hat and everything like that. I feel like there was so many different. There was like these different eras of Sammy. Like it was never the same. And once he broke away from the bloodline stuff, I will give you that. Yeah, maybe then it seemed like he's still the same character from many years ago. That I will give you.
So maybe what I'm looking at is also success with these characters, right? Like I think when Shinsuke turned heel, unsuccessful. Like it was not the same.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
That's so sad.
I forgot Shinsuke was a thing for a while.
But what you think? When I think about like Sami Zayn, like he should have won the championship. But I know we're gonna get down to that 5-on-5 match. Taking Shane McMahon out of it, like every character there, like almost, I think every character won the championship belt. Like what's going on? Like why could we have elevated this character a little bit more? Like all I'm saying is why he has not won a championship. That's all I'm saying.
Wow, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, Team SmackDown. If you remove Shane McMahon, every last one of them either were or became world champion. Because Dean Ambrose had it, dropped it to AJ Styles. Later on down the line, Bray took it. Randy took it from Bray. Then Braun Strowman had it. Like, wow, I didn't even realize that. But good observation on that.
I'm sorry.
Continue.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry. I was disbobulated. Go ahead.
Oh, me? Okay, bet. So, so the match, it has The Miz in it. 99 times out of 100, I check out. I have to review this match. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll give this a try. It was an okay match.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It was an okay match. But there were a couple of things I noticed because I was watching this match. So before I get into the crux of my opinion. Okay, right. So boom, JVL said something that was borderline crazy, right? And it was a complete accident. But when I heard it, I was like, I had to run it back to be sure that I didn't hear what I thought I heard. He called Dolph Ziggler Dolph Ziggler, and I was like, I'm sorry, who?
I think the question is, was that on purpose or was that an actual accident?
I'm sure it was an accident because it's not the only commentator botched that night. Like, there was one part in a later match. We'll get to that. But yeah, like, it's not the only commentator accident that I heard. Okay, another thing that happened was the commentators was like, oh yeah, Flair gave Miz the figure 4. When did that happen?
That happened in like 2013 or so. That was years ago.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that was real. I thought that was bullshit.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Yeah.
I honestly thought that was commentator bullshit. They were just feeding us just to get us interested.
And
it's part of the history.
And then right, we had the fake bell ring gimmick. So this was literally my face, like I'm paying attention to the match. I'm watching this match, and I'm watching Sami Zayn got Miz in whatever the submission that is, and the bell rings, and I'm looking, and I don't see nobody tapping, and the ref is confused, and this is my face. What's going on? Because we literally just reviewed this. It couldn't have been more than a month ago. It couldn't have been more than a month ago. We just reviewed this. So I'm like, wait, we're really in the Matrix. Like I've never had a real deal, are we in the Matrix moment other than this? Because I was just like, what is this? What's going on?
The reverse Montreal screw job.
It's funny when you say that. It's funny when you say that.
For.
When you say that, it's so funny because it was in Canada. Like that is actually very hilarious, actually.
The anti-Montreal screw job right there.
Right.
That's what that was.
But like I said, it was an okay match.
Yeah.
I think it was Byron Saxon. He said something, and I immediately reacted to it. He said, Miz is not the most athletic guy. And out loud, I said, he sure isn't. And when I said that, it rang the bell, and I know exactly why I've always found the Miz boring. I I figured it out, and I was like, wow, there we are. That's what it is. So basically, what it boils down to is The Miz is not the most athletic guy. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's not athletic at all. He's in the WWE. He's been in the WWE for years. So he has,
20 years.
So he has to have some level of athleticism to be there. But he is not the most athletic guy. And what ends up happening is, to my knowledge, if I'm wrong, please let me know. There is nothing explosive about this man. Like, in terms of like,
nope.
Okay, cool. Right. There's nothing explosive about the man in terms of his movements, in terms of nothing. Now, to be fair,
matter of fact, Bryan Danielson said before, you play it safe.
Yeah, that was his biggest thing. He definitely did. And
which is not a bad. Oh, go ahead, finish your thought, please.
Right, and then that's when Miz had the crash out. Well, yeah, I play it safe, but I'm here and you're not. Da, 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 da.
He did.
Now, to be very fair to Miz, that does indeed make him very fundamentally sound. And
that's fair.
I'm having in the middle of the match, this happens, and I'm having all these thoughts, and I was like, wow. Is Miz the Tim Duncan of the WWE? Tim Duncan being, the big fundamental. Obviously, there are. It's a what's it called? I called it because I said it out loud, and I was like, "That's wow." I called it a perpendicular parallel because at the end of the day, he's not Tim Duncan, and I felt I'm a Tim Duncan fan, and it bothered me that I even said that out loud because I'm having all these thoughts out loud. It bothered me that I said this out loud, but his boring play style in the ring, it does make him fundamentally sound. On top of that, I don't like his character. His in-ring character. I want to say I've seen a couple of things with him interacting with fans outside the ring. He's a cool dude. And maybe he should have been Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat because I saw him training for that as well. But as far as his in-ring character, it did nothing for me. So between that and the fact that he's absolutely not explosive in the ring, it was Tuesday that I learned exactly why the Miz does absolutely nothing for me. And I felt enlightened. And I was like, wow, I'm glad I watched this match. Because now I don't have to watch any other Miz match ever again in life. But yeah.
He's not Tim Duncan. He's more of a Joakim Noah or a Zach Randolph.
So I hear you.
I'll give you that. I will give you that. That's definitely a really good one. Definitely Zach Randolph.
But here's the difference. The difference is Miz not like a Grand Slam champion? Like, does he not have a championship
twice? He's two-time Grand Slam champion.
So that's where things get perpendicular. That's where it's a parallel perpendicular because like he's not exactly Tim Duncan because no, I'm not doing that either. But he's kind of sort of I would say he has more value than a Zach Randolph and a what was the other guy said? Joakim Noah. Like he has more value than that. So he's like somewhere in between. I get it. But I was like, wow, this is why he does nothing for me. I figured it out, and I was like, I'm glad I came to this revelation, and I just wanted to point that out because Byron Saxton saved the day, at least for me, because I was like, wow, this is the thing that happened. But overall, it was an okay match.
I agree.
That's the best I can do. Like I feel like I've enjoyed Sami Zayn matches, and I felt like even Sami Zayn was a little. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. See, now I'm being extra. That's bias and that's extra bullshit.
I'll throw this out here. You was talking about Sami. A recommendation I have is Sami Zayn versus Nakamura. I forget what it was. 2016. I forgot what the NXT event was. I think they were in Texas, and this was the debut of Nakamura. And because you were saying earlier, he was like, "Oh, that made me sad when something was mentioned about Nakamura." Nakamura is
Nakamura's heel turn because like
they
gave him like the Akuma version of his theme, and I was like, "Oh,
see, you're talking okay, that's fair." No, you were talking about that version. I was talking about the Nakamura who's just kicking everyone in the dick, but that's fine. It was just a Nakamura where after WrestleMania he kept punching AJ Styles in the dick. That's all he did.
Because he had two different heel turns. There was the one where like there was the one where they changed his music so that people stopped chanting to it because he had the so they changed that, and then he had.
I gotta download that again. That's such a good theme.
And then he had a one that was more recent. Mm-hmm. It was like, and like
it was Doc. It was Doc Nakamura.
Yeah,
I forgot what the thing was. I forgot what it was called when the no Hideo Tame.
Yeah, the Yatsuno Hideo Nakamura. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a phenomenal debut, and then nothing happened.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, at this point in Nakamura, and we'll, I don't know, Rich King, did you take the floor? But I'll just say at this point, Nakamura is just really there he's there to, he does what he's told. I never say never in this company, but I just don't think they see him being, world champion at this point.
Well,
he's just there.
Maybe in the future he'll be a Japanese commentator like Funaki was.
But he'll never be number one SmackDown commentator. He will never be number one. Gotcha, but Rich Cage, take the floor. I'm sorry. Did you talk about this match, this Intercontinental match with Sammy and?
That was the first one. I think we'll open up Pandora's box here.
Oh yeah, okay. So let's move on to the next match. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I thought this match was a bit too much for me. We got the Tag Team Survivor Series match, 10-on-10, and I don't know why. Part of me kind of remember it, but also I thought this was a fever dream. There was just too many people in this match. It was a lot of stuff going on here. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm at a point in my life. I'm in my late 30s. This just gave me, when Smash Brothers wanted to have 8 people on the stage, I said, what are we doing? It became too much. I refuse to do that at this point in my life. If I see anything more than 6, I won't play at all. I refuse because I don't know where I'm at. So you have this 10-on-10. This 10-on-10.
May I cut it?
Yes, you can.
Because I feel you. There's only certain I'm a Smash Brothers player, and there's only certain characters. Definitely. When there's 8 people, it's all right. There's only I've got a very limited palette of characters.
Right. It's so, and what's so funny, and we'll get into this match, but when it first happened almost 10 years ago, right? You're like, whoa, this is such a great concept. But then when you're approaching your 40s, you said, this is a headache. This is terrible. Would I do it? I kind of would, but I promise you, I don't think it's fun at this point. I remember one day I was doing it. This was many moons ago. I haven't played Smash in a minute. And all I know is I kept seeing Sonic fall off. I said, that guy have no awareness, not realizing it was me the whole time falling. I just did not know it was me. So I saw all these people. I said, why is there so much humans? I said, what avenue is this? I thought this was way too, because when they said we're gonna have the Tag Team Survivor Series match, I'm like, all right. See, Enzo and Kaz do their thing. They were so over at the time too. They were really, really over. I think one of the biggest and you look, I think Enzo and Big Cass, I think there was some things with them as well. But they really messed them up when they split them up. I thought that was a really, really bad move all the many years ago. But you have Enzo and Cass. Then you see the Shining Stars. I'm like, okay. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. I said, oh, okay, all right, that's enough. Then Sheamus. That's Sheamus. Oh, okay, all right. That's enough. And then he starts to lose his shit, which is hilarious. But then you see Sheamus come out and Cesaro, and you're like, and I said that's enough. Now I forgot to include this. The tag team champions come out, New Day. I said, how many people in this match? I
really thought it was a lumberjack tag team match when I first saw all these people come out. I'm like, oh, okay. We got a tag team lumberjack. That's an interesting concept. Then they said a 10-on-10. I'm just like, wait, what?
How can that? And you ask yourself, how can all these people fit in the ring? I'm not even in the ring. How can all these people fit on the side? Right. And
my biggest thing was about this match. I said, how long is this match going to go on for? Because what in the holy hell? How often are we going to get an elimination here? Because all right,
well, they started off early with that though. But let me finish. We got Heath Slater and Rhino come out. They're the tag team champions, the SmackDown tag team champion. Usos come out, and we talked about Evolution here and how different the Usos are from what they were 10 years. And I mean, they've been doing this for a long time, but how different they are there to compared to now. So you have the Usos, the Fashion Police, Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley, and Alpha America. Was it Alpha America? Alpha American Alpha. I mixed. Bad text. My bad on me. Thank you guys. Thank you, gents. American Alpha, which was a really good team. And another thing that they did silly was separating them. Real quick, let me just talk about.
Jordan hurt though?
He is hurt, but even still, before that, they wanted to put.
Yeah, I looked it up. He they separated him before he got hurt, and then they put him, and then they tried to do some type of
Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
They wanted to be they wanted to do something crazy. They wanted to do something like, because they could have got a white guy to play the role, but they went and say, "Oh, let's get Jordan because he's black." Like Kurt Angle in college. I remember the storyline too. I remember like something about Corey Grave got a text and he showed Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle said, "If this breaks out, then my career's ruined or whatever." And it was so terrible. And Jordan, and honestly, listen, Jason Jordan is very, very talented. He's not very charismatic, but his in-ring stuff is pretty clean. I don't think he was ready for this role. I don't think he was meant for that role. They did that. They tried to, hey, let's make a new star and let's have Jason Jordan. But I just don't think he was ever meant for that role.
They chose the wrong guy.
They did choose the wrong guy.
It should have been Chad Gable.
And when you look at Chad Gable, even in this match right here, you could tell he was the one with the charisma. He was right there. I remember him in NXT. He had a thing. It was called Willing. Was it Ready, Willing, and Gable? Like the guy. He's clearly the charismatic one of them. But my point is, I still wouldn't have separated them. Even though I agree with you that Chad Gable, I just wouldn't have broke up the tag team. I just thought that was a bad move to begin with. But to Jean Baptiste's point, when he said how many numbers are in here. So when you have all these people and he's talking about the elimination, I mean, we got instant eliminations. You guys pointed out how, finishers, countouts, roll-ups, Fashion Police gets eliminated quickly. I do want to sit here and throw out, I'm not going to announce each and every one, how everyone got eliminated and stuff. But I will sit here and say, when Fashion Police got eliminated and you see Xavier Woods with the trombone and he go, womp, 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 womp. And then who got eliminated? I know New Day got eliminated. I don't know if it was Big E or Kofi who ate the pin. But they get eliminated instantly, and you see Xavier stop, and he's just like, "My boys," It's just. I just thought that was such a funny moment.
I miss Xavier Woods with the trombone. He had some hilarious moments with that trombone.
He did. It was actually some really, really good stuff here.
I think my favorite one was they were taking on AJ Styles on Raw during the pandemic, and for whatever reason, he started playing AJ's TNA theme with the trombone, and I just said, "Oh, we went there. Okay, we definitely went there."
Yeah, you gotta love that.
Yeah, he literally started playing "I Am" with the trombone in a WWE match, and I'm just like,
"Oh, I have to look this up."
That was hilarious.
Yeah. I think it's on YouTube because I didn't peep it at first or whatever, but I remember everyone online was like, "Oh, he like it was a really cool Easter egg." So yeah, check it out. And it's so funny too because he really does not like that theme, and it's like, dude, that's such a great theme. Like,
was his best one.
Listen, I mean, he had some. I think I Am is a really good one, but I mean, his original version of it was pretty good. I thought, what was it called? The one where he was like,
Fly.
Get Ready to Fly is dope. No, the other one, it was one when he turned dark.
I know
Evil Ways. It was like Evil Ways. Yeah,
yeah.
I like Evil Ways. And I'm not gonna hold you. His WWE theme, I love it. So I would have to, maybe that's something we could do at one point. We'll name a wrestler and they had so many themes and we'll just pick like, hey, maybe that'll be another way to open up the show one day. But there was so much humanity in this match. I just did not take any notes here. People were getting eliminated, but then it started getting kind of good when you started having at least not a lot of people in there. Cause like I see American Alpha and I'm like, man, I really miss these guys as a team because they just worked so well. And there was just so much potential with them being like a featured tag team, the Usos are good. I mean, what is there to say? Usos, I mean, everyone will sit here. I won't say everyone, but a lot of people will sit here and say they're the greatest tag team of all time. Personally, for me, the Hardy Boys are still breathing. So I can't agree with that. But the Usos are great. But the story at the end here, when the team starts to dwindle and it's just the Usos and Sheamus and Cesaro. Sheamus and Cesaro were put as a team. They had this like best of 7 series.
When they get the title shot of their choosing, and I think it came down to, I don't know if it tied.
I think it was a tie.
It was a tie, and Mick Foley just said, "You know what? I still get your title shot at the tag titles." And I'm just like, "Oh, okay."
So the story here is that these two individuals, they're single guys, but they're put together. They're going against the Usos, who have been tag team for many years at this point. And, you know, I thought it was cool. So I forget which one, you know, at this point too, I'm trying to look at their faces because, you know, Jay and Jimmy, you could really tell them apart, but I couldn't really look at their faces. You know, because they still had the long hair and everything like this, so it was hard for me to kind of tell them apart. So I don't know which one was doing this. It might have been Jimmy, but he does the Tequila Sunrise, and I think that's such a fantastic move. I remember when Conan used to do that in WCW, so it's cool seeing that. You know, Cesaro shows his strength, and Cesaro has such great endurance because he has this spot, and there's a really cool one. There's on one episode of Monday Night Raw where he's doing all these moves. He's doing the European uppercut, he stomps on someone, he runs in the ring, there's a Swiss 1-9. He's doing all these like moves. Like Cesaro's just is. Fucking beast. Matter of fact, they had a match at AEW. It was Bloods and Guts. Someone was choking out Cesaro, and he still did the big swing to the other guy because he didn't give a fuck. I just want to say, Cesaro, Claudio, you are just you're great, man.
The Swiss Superman.
The Swiss Superman, baby. And you know, he gets the sharpshooter in. And I loved how this was shot because it looked like one of the Usos was going to break it up. But Sheamus hits this bro kick. And I mean, I seen this one picture where he hit the bro kick on Wade Barrett, and it was so flush. Like, you could just see like he really just hit him in the face. He hits him, and then the Usos tap. Cesaro and Sheamus win. And, you know, me and Rich Kings, I just want to pull the curtain back a little bit here. So we've been watching wrestling together for many years, right? And, like, we would watch Survivor Series, and I would always address him how it would upset me that SmackDown would always beat Raw. Like it would really bother me a lot. Like I said, what did Raw do wrong? And so like I'm watching this back and I'm like, you know, young me is in heaven right now because I was a Raw guy. You know, I was a Raw guy. Rich King was a SmackDown guy, and seeing SmackDown get pummeled made me happy. Like I know that sounds terrible. Like I like SmackDown, but like I just felt like this was just sweet justice. I felt like it was justice in a cup, and they just put enough ice in it. But I'm going to give you the floor, Rich Kings, because my Raw team demolished your SmackDown team. And I just wanted you to know that.
That SmackDown team. Man, when I saw Heath and Rhino come out, I said this was a bad time for tag teams. Like, and then they had to have the nerve to have the belt. I'm looking around like, damn. It was like a bad playlist. Like, it was like, you know, hit unhit after unhit. The Usos was the only good tag team for SmackDown. So then I'm looking like, you know, when that paparazzi team, like Fandango,
police, the fashion police, right there.
I forgot they were a thing.
I mean, that just
and so did the match.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't good. I mean, listen, I think this might be one of my I agree with you. It was just too many teams. So when the music's like, because I was like, damn, I don't remember this too. Like you, I didn't remember seeing all these teams. And when the New Day came out, I said, well, maybe we're just gonna be commentating. Like maybe because it's not that we have enough commentators. So it's like, what's going on? And then when I saw more teams come out for SmackDown, I said, this is it was a bad time. But I would say like the match was, it just wasn't what I wanted. An unfavorable result. The announce team, they didn't even give any kind of spunk. I think the match, it was just so dry. So not a big fan of it. Awful teams for SmackDown, and that's my assessment.
You know, that's a fair point, though, because like I'm looking at. I'm sorry. Let me just look at this Raw team, right? I really would say, you know.
Come on, like, look at the Raw team.
The Raw team had a better team. They had a better lineup.
You had Carl and what other guy's name?
Luke Gallows. Yeah, Carl and Luke Gallows.
The Goof Brothers.
And they had the most eliminations. That they eliminated what 2 or 3 teams. I'm like, well, what's happening
Something like
here?
that, yeah.
Yeah, no,
It
they were good.
The SmackDown team was coming, even though they felt to the bitter end. It was one team versus one team. I think that was just them throwing a bone. Like, we just gotta make this a little interesting. Like,
well, when they threw the bone, was it from one of the members from SmackDown? Because what are we talking about here? I do want to throw out here that the match, though, it wasn't super long. It was 18 minutes and 55 seconds. Okay.
Too long.
Okay.
It was too long. In all honesty, if it was me booking that, rather than be 5v5, give me the Usos from SmackDown, and if you want to further Cesaro and Sheamus's, I guess, strange bedfellows tag team, like, because I think just after that, a little after that, they became the Bar. So it's like, all right, let's see if these guys can actually coexist and become a great team. I would have been fine with that. Hell, you could have made it a whole tag team lumberjack match, Raw v SmackDown. I would have been okay with that. But all these people in the goddamn ring, and in all honesty, SmackDown really didn't have shit. I agree with Justin. SmackDown had no good teams but the Usos out there. Because when I took Rhino and Heath Slater, I'm just like, when did y'all get the belts? How did y'all get the belts?
They beat the Usos.
Like, what? Oh my, no.
They beat the Usos. So there was a tournament. My memory about this is pretty good. The Usos turned heel because they beat up American Alpha. I guess there was a tournament. They moved for anyway. Rhino and Heath Slater won, and this was at a time where Heath Slater, I don't think he was even with SmackDown yet, but because he won, he ended up getting a SmackDown contract, and him and Rhino.
Oh yeah, I got kids.
Yeah.
I got kids. Get this guy.
Listen, I hear what you're saying, but he did the. I always said to say this about wrestling, even if it's someone I don't particularly care for. He got over with that very line. As much as you sit here and say, I hated it, that's cool. But there's another few hundred people who sat here and bought those shirts.
I think Brock Lesnar made that line infamous.
Well, no, he said, F them kids.
Yeah, that's exactly why that line became infamous. I got kids. I don't give a shit about them kids. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lesnar.
No, I sincerely doubt it. I think he did that.
That's funny.
Yeah, but that was a funny moment.
Foreshadowing. I'm just going to put that one there.
Well, what do you think about this this match, Mark Wentz?
So when I first saw it, I definitely kind of like clocked out because there was a lot of people, and I'm like, yo, what is going on? I didn't realize how over Big Cass and Enzo were, like, and granted, they had like. They obviously had cheap pops in their promo here, but like even with those cheap pops, like the crowd was like into it.
Nah, those weren't cheap pops, bro. There was a segment on Raw.
Hold on, let him speak, Gene. Let him speak.
I'm not saying that Big Cass and Enzo were over because of cheap pops. I'm saying that in this particular promo, they definitely had cheap pops because they were hyping up the 6 and Enzo did the thing where if you're reading this, it's too late when he took off his suspenders or whatever. Like, he had a lot of cheap pops in this particular promo. But you could tell that they didn't need the cheap pops to be over. They were over from the moment the music hit. Because I'm sitting there like, yo, what is this music? And the crowd's going ape shit. And I'm like, what's going on? And then it's like, oh, I forgot they were over. So, yeah.
Super over.
The other big commentator botch, at least that I noticed, I don't remember who said it, but what had happened was, so I don't even know. I'm not even 100% sure. I guess it was either, what were they called? The Fashion Police or the New Day. One of those two got eliminated, and one of the commentators said, how predictable can this match be? Like, wait, do you mean unpredictable?
That sounds like a JBL moment. Wow. That was definitely a JBL moment. That was a JBL moment. That was definitely a JBL moment.
But so yeah, the first time I watched this match, I was like, yeah, I was checked out till like towards the end, and then I'm like I'm seeing the last two teams, not quite the Bar yet, but the Bar and the Usos, and I was like, oh, this match turned up real fast. Like, well, maybe not real fast, but like by the time it was just like the fewer people that were in it, the more this match got hyped. But rewatching the match because of a segment that we're going to get to in the future, this match, I think other than maybe the first two eliminations that probably were a necessary evil to like move things forward, it wasn't that bad of a match. Like, so correct me if I'm wrong. Zack Ryder is Matt Cardona, right?
Yeah, Matt Cardona.
Oh, Cardona. Okay, yeah. I see why he had a bunch of titles on his arm in this match. In this match alone, I see why. Like, he got eliminated mad fast for because whatever. But I'm watching the things that he does in this match, and I'm like, WWE might have dropped the ball with him. Nah, we can sit there and say if and when, whatever. But I see it. I understood, and like it was really interesting that they see all the different people, like because this is 9 years ago. And so they're like great grandson and Pooba was alluding to. There is evolution with some of these characters, and it's really interesting to see the Usos. The Usos, I felt like they were borderline. Obviously, they're not borderline generic. They had a championship. They had the boos. The crowd was booing them or whatever. But like they felt borderline generic. Like from my perspective, and yet to see where they came from here to where they are now, it's like this was a really interesting watch. So I'm not gonna lie, the first time I watched this match, it was definitely an absolute slobber knocker mess of a match because there's too many people. But like I said, because of a segment in the future on this show that we're gonna do, I had to rewatch this match, and as I'm rewatching this match, I was actually really impressed with this match. This match I would give it another 8 out of 10. But
wow,
on your first, seriously, I'm like I said, other than the first two eliminations, everybody in that match wrestled really well. The only issue is there's so many people in the match. That's literally the biggest issue of the entire match. But other than that, it was a good match.
Just to piggyback on what you're saying, I think that's really what it was for me. Because once they started like trimming a lot of those guys out, and you started seeing like, because then they were able to like flush out spots and do things like that. But I think, like how you said, by watching the first 2 minutes, you are overwhelmed. So I can understand that very much. And I think it's really cool what you said about Matt Cardona because you were talking about WWE. I'll sit here and say this. I just wanted to piggyback on what you were saying there. I don't think he would have got any further with the Zack Ryder character, but Matt Cardona, I think there's a chance. Although if he was to come back, he would have to tone down some of that stuff because he just can't sit here and say. So you've been to an HOG show with me, and you've seen him, and this guy would say he would tell the crowd, "Fuck you." You can't say that.
Maybe no. Well, we've heard The Rock curse his ass off before, so.
Oh right, you know what? You're absolutely right because who's going to go up to The Rock and fire him? You're right. You're absolutely right. I can see someone. He's on the board.
Like, yeah, he's literally on the board. He's the boss.
Matter of fact, I think we're really incorrect. He is the board. Like they literally write their wrestling notes on him. He's the final boss.
Like he was running around telling people, "I don't give a fuck if we're done." I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, they're not firing him. He's sitting there. What you call it? I mean, I think there's still lines that he got to be careful with because he was on an episode of NXT and he was kind of cussing and he said, "I'm sorry, that's the last one." I could see the game. Okay.
Even Punk would run around just saying shit all goddamn day. Like I've heard a couple of promos.
I think it's a. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish. I'm so sorry.
Where it's like you just like I guess the Netflix era, they can get away with a little bit more, but I guess because they're still a PG product, they have to really watch what the fuck they saying. Because they definitely curse their asses off at times.
I don't even think they're PG anymore. I don't know what's the next line. I want to do a Google search just to be sure about it, but I don't think they're PG.
PG-14.
They might be that because like if they were PG, they just wouldn't do that. Like you get what I'm saying? Like they just wouldn't do that because they still got going the lines of that. I do think like depending on where you are, your status in the company, you're gonna do that. Like Punk, he said he said something about you're full of shit, right? And you hear Rock, and he's dropping every kind of F-bomb and stuff. Cody, he dropped an F-bomb. You know, like these are guys who are gonna do. I remember one with Cody Rhodes
saying dick on TV. Like what? We're saying dick now.
There's one where Roman says, "You can't be in my company. Get out of here, you little bitch." And he's talking to Cody. I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, bitch. I've heard over the years, but like when Cody was saying Rock had a little
still
dick,
not TV PG.
It's not PG. But then you got Cody saying Rock has a little dick, or Rock saying I don't give a fuck, or CM Punk saying bullshit. Like I don't think you're PG anymore. I'm pretty sure.
That's what I was saying. I don't think it's PG at all. I think it's another level, but I don't know it. But let's get into this thing, because we got three more matches. This was an 8-match card. Let's get into real quick with this cruiserweight match. They go 12 minutes and 25 seconds. You got the Brian Kendrick, and he goes against Kalisto.
No. The Brian Kendrick.
Oh, I'm sorry. What I said, I meant
yeah.
the?
You said the.
Oh, the. Well, you gotta remember, he was called the Brian Kendrick, and his finisher in WWE was called the Brian Kendrick. Like, it was literally called the Brian Kendrick. Like, he named the move after himself. Fantastic. But if we're going the, you want me to add another E? All right, I'll take an E.
Yeah, because they said it every comment, every time this name was mentioned. The Brian Kendrick. That's what they said.
The Brian Kendrick.
And to be fair to you, there's still not that second E on his name.
You said the second E on his name?
Yeah, it's just one. It's technically it is the, but
okay, but they're saying the
okay. Brian Kendrick. Yes,
I like that.
Probably because they were in Canada.
You know, I you know what? Give me a second. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Hold on. Ed name. Give me a second. Better. I'm sorry. There we go. I identify as the great Grand Slam Poobah. I'm glad that I learned about this development. This was what I needed in my life. You know, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I really like the cruiserweight division. It holds a special place in my heart when I remember the stuff from WCW and even a little bit of the stuff when WWE had the cruiserweight championship. But this match didn't do it for me. I don't think that the talent wasn't there. I just don't think my investment was there. I do want to sit here and say a lot of people hated that purple belt. I kind of like it. I'm not going to hold you. I kind of like it. The match ends with Baron Corbin interfering, and he just breaks it up. I remember when Baron Corbin did it. I was like, I don't remember him being a cruiserweight. I don't know why. I just thought it was so hilarious. I was like, I think he's kind of big to be in the cruiserweight division. I do appreciate. I'll sit here and say this. I try to add a little bit of positivity instead of a bunch of negativity and stuff like this in wrestling. I do appreciate that they try to do something different with this cruiserweight division. You know, they changed the ropes. It's purple and try to make it its own identity, if you will. But it just didn't do it for me.
It was good for a while until, you know, that guy comes in and ruins it, and you can't teach that.
It's not even that. I can't even say that. I for me personally, it was like I can't even say that. It's just, I don't know. It was just like the only time I really cared about the division, and even then I thought Cedric was a really good champion, but I can't say I was solely invested. I thought the stuff Pac was doing was cool. Neville. I don't know. It's just I just never really could get into this. I and maybe I not pinpoint exactly when I couldn't, but I feel like it was even before that, because even when I watched this, it's like, you know how like you can watch something and it kind of brings back a great memory for you and stuff like that. My brain literally said cannot compute, so I didn't do anything for me personally. But I didn't think the match was horrible. But I'm not going to sit here and say 5 stars at the Tokyo Dome. So I don't know, Mark Wins, you want to take the floor?
Sure. Yeah, the man with the plan, the Brian Kendrick. Not gonna lie, I got a little hype when I saw this because I did not remember that he was at this pay-per-view at all. To continue on with the fact that I didn't remember nothing, I was like, Kalisto, who is that? And then I'm watching, and then the first thing he does is he shows you who he is, and he just jumps over the ropes from outside the ring, and I was like, whoa, my man got hops. like I said earlier, the commentators kept saying the Brian Kendrick, and it never got old to me at all. The match started fast, and it slowed down, but it got very impactful because everything that was high fly was like, we're gonna make sure that you see this. And I think I'm just guessing based on like what you were saying, the great Grand Slam Pluba. But I think the reason why you didn't really get down with the cruiserweight division in WWE is because if this was the formula where we go fast and then we slow it down in the middle of the ring and then we go fast again, that's not cruiserweight. Like I vaguely remember cruiserweight in WCW, and I feel like it was a fast-paced match all the way throughout, if not the whole match. I'm thinking of the X Division, which was basically TNA's version of cruiserweight, and that is a fast-paced match. And WWE just had to do their thing where, yes, we get it. You're fast, you're athletic, you're explosive, but we have to slow down the match to tell a story. And sometimes you don't have to slow down a match to tell a story, particularly when you have cruiserweights. But I still enjoyed the match. I thought the match was really good.
Really? Okay.
I did.
Cool.
I did enjoy the match. I do wish that Baron Corbin didn't come in to ruin the match, but basically, because I think after the match they mentioned they interviewed him, and his whole theory and his explanation was fuck them kids. That was his whole thing. Like he said, Kalisto's a pest, and if I can get rid of him, I don't need no more pests to get all of this. I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, fuck it, fuck them kids then. But I enjoyed the match. It did, like I said, I'm with you where like it did. I did notice the slowdown. I did not expect the slowdown, but it wasn't. It wasn't. How do I explain this? It wasn't. I want to say 2000 maybe 7 to 2000 maybe 12 13. I feel like that particular, not even 13, maybe 12 11, that particular era of WWE I did not enjoy because I felt like every match was too slow. And I get it, somebody will be like, oh, but Mark, this match was fast and this match was fast and this match was fast. I hear you, but in general those matches were really slow to me
because the pacing wasn't consistent.
That might have been it. And that slowdown definitely like brought the match down for me too. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it, other than, you know, Baron Corbin not giving a fuck about these kids. I enjoyed it.
Rich Kings.
Yeah, I'm not a big cruiserweight fan in general. So when this match came on, I was trying to enjoy it, but I just could not enjoy it. You know, honestly, I think when we was watching wrestling as kids and WCW come on, that was cruiserweight wrestling, right? So anything I see after that is not aligning with it. So I think we're just putting too fast for people that just are skinnier in a match and disguising it as a cruiserweight match. I'm like, this is just a regular match to me. And I'm not a big fan of the flips and the dazzles and stuff like that. So, you know, I could do without all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, this was the worst match of the night, and I just did not enjoy it. So, I don't have like a honest, real good review. I just was not a fan. I do like the character. I did not like the match.
I do want to sit here and say you don't care about the flips, but I literally, when I made you, you have a 450 and a Canadian Destroyer.
The Canadian Destroyer is fine. The 450 has to go.
Yes, the on-air edits. I love it.
That's great. Well, honestly, that's really like you start the match off with a Canadian Destroyer, and then you hit an F5, and the person kicks out at 1. How do you feel about that?
That's bad booking.
Very bad booking. Somebody's in business for themselves.
Or maybe the ref has carpal tunnel. I can't count to 3.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was told like before I give Jean Baptiste, I heard like it was a product of a new millennium. But Jean Baptiste, what do you think about this cruiserweight?
I'm not gonna lie to you. The cruiserweight match came on. I saw the participants. By opening bell, I went to the bathroom. As soon as I finished, came out the bathroom and washed my hands. The bell was closing, and I said, "Oh, all right." And I didn't care to rewind. Did not care for the Godfather. So I have no opinion on this match whatsoever.
All right, we can move on. All right, good. Because I mean, we went on a tear here. I'm proud of you, gents. I know. I feel like a lot of our shows go long and stuff like that, but like I'm accustomed to this, so I see you guys hanging in with me tight. So I appreciate that. Let's talk about this match because I really love this fucking match right here. Survivor Series. Team Raw against Team SmackDown. It was the men's turn. The women opened up the show, and now the guys had to sit here and they can't be stood up by the women. They gotta be like, yo, y'all get good because them women kicked ass. I want to throw that out there. But the men were like, all right, we know what we have to do. Let's talk about this team right here on Raw. Braun Strowman, Chris Jericho, the United States champion Roman Reigns. He's not our tribal. He's not our tribal chief.
The big dog.
Yeah, he's the big. He's the biggest. He's the. Will you let me fucking finish?
I'm sorry, but like, yeah, I'm gonna let you finish. I'll get into it. My bad.
We have no. You're good. It's good. We have the United States champion Roman Reigns, the big dog. We have Seth Rollins and the Universal champion Kevin Owens.
The architect, Seth Rollins.
The architect. You know, I just gotta say, Kevin Owens is so great. He one time stomped Seth Rollins. He said, "You call yourself an architect? You don't even have a foundation." He said, "You don't even have a foundation," and then proceeded to stomp. Kevin Owens is so great. I miss this dude, bro. Like Kevin Owens is so fucking great. Like there was one where he dragged Rusev from the corner, and he said, lose some weight," and then proceeded to pin him.
I can make so many great Kevin Owens moments in matches. Like I think there was one where he was teaming with the New Day, and Big E started doing that stupid dance, and Kevin was like, "Hey, stop that! Don't do that! That's enough! Don't do that stupid dance! Enough!" Or there was another time I think he broke Roman Reigns in a match with Roman, where he told somebody,
"He makes a lot of money." Yeah.
Roman just couldn't stop laughing. Roman's in a chokehold, but he's laughing like.
Okay, is just naturally funny. So one of my favorite holds I told you guys recently is the octopus stretch. But there was one where he had Dolph Ziggler in the chinlock. He said, "Chinlock City, baby." And I'm like, that is such a good move. I immediately fell in love with the move because it came out. But Raw, I don't know if you guys remember this, because it was so many years ago. So I see the Universal Champion, and it's KO, and I can't help but go, if Finn Balor did not get hurt at SummerSlam, he would have been in this match. So I do want to ask you guys here. Let's say Finn Balor is not hurt, and he's still the Universal Champion. Who is being taken off this team?
Roman.
Would it not be KO?
I think it would be Jericho. Yeah, I agree. Jericho.
Oh, right.
I believe it would be Jericho.
You can make the argument that Jericho was only on there because he was KO's best friend at the time.
And they needed a fifth guy, and they were also in that storyline where pretty much KO was feuding with Roman, KO was feuding with Seth, I want to say. Anyway, all I'm saying is it all intertwined with each other in a way. So, but as I was looking at this, I said, man, if Finn was healthy, he would have been in this match. And it would have been cool because that would have been the first interaction with him and AJ. We got that some time later, which was a really good match. Their first encounter is really, really good here. Talking about Finn and AJ, but on Team SmackDown, and Team SmackDown is nothing to laugh at either. You have AJ Styles, he's the WWE champion. Shane McMahon, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton. I love this match, man. They gave him 52 minutes and 55 seconds. I remember we were all out together. Me, Kings, and Wins. We're out here. Shout out to Easy and Crazy Joke. We were all together. We were at a Yep, I Like Wrestling event. I remember sitting on the floor because we were late to get seats, but whatever. We were there because it was wrestling, right? And I didn't realize that they gave these guys 50-something minutes. I remember I thought like, hey, maybe it was like 30 minutes or something like that, right? They went a long fucking time.
Because like I said earlier, these matches didn't really drag. Like, no. I guess maybe the cruiserweight, like thinking about it now, maybe the cruiserweight match dragged a little bit. But other than that, these matches didn't really drag.
There was nonstop spots and action. Like a lot of stories were being played out throughout these matches.
That part.
And that's where it all fit in because Team Raw, you had your problems between Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Roman's feud. I think Roman and Seth Rollins, they had history. You got Chris Jericho. Everybody on Team Raw had some type of history where it's like they could break down at any moment.
Except Braun. Braun was the only
Braun.
one.
Except
Braun was
Braun.
the only one.
And then on SmackDown, you had AJ Styles feuding with Dean Ambrose. I think they were going to meet in TLC just 2 weeks after Survivor Series.
Yep.
You had the Wyatts where Luke Harper still ain't trust Randy Orton being a part of the Wyatt, so there was a little bit of a breakdown in that situation. It was fun. And that's what made that match beautiful because a lot of stories did play out. If you don't mind me taking the floor real quick, this was one of those matches, one of those Survivor Series matches that always go down as one of my favorites. Especially where the story between Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles, the way that played out was kind of funny because here they are fighting. Because they were fighting, Braun Strowman takes advantage and freaking eliminates Dean Ambrose while AJ Styles just watched. AJ Styles comes back. No, Dean Ambrose comes back out later on in the match, and we get like a mini Shield reunion where they triple powerbomb AJ Styles for no reason. I was cool with that. I was also cool with the way they protected Braun Strowman. His elimination was kind of funny.
Go ahead. Hold on. What do you got, Rich Kings?
Wait, what do you mean no reason?
Well, if anything, Dean Ambrose was feuding with AJ.
Right.
But just like here comes Dean Ambrose. He's out, and they're all looking at it like you got Seth and Roman looking like, what's going on here? Now we're gonna attack the security guards. Let's just triple powerbomb AJ.
Well, so here's the element that here's the element that you're missing. Survivor Series was the debut of the Shield, so they were definitely going to have that Shield callback about these guys. I remember even watching the match at the time. I said, "Yo, I wonder if we're going to get that Shield reunion because I know how big Survivor Series is for them." You peeped that, right, Rich?
Yeah, I mean it's like almost when it's like flashback at the time, like, "Yo, you're here," and the he's in character, like. Just fuck it. We have to get him. It made sense. Like
it was a good fallback. Don't get me wrong. But at the time, I'm just like, ain't this Raw versus SmackDown? And I remember I heard JBL screaming, and I was like, I agree. Yeah. He was like, this is a Survivor on my Raw versus SmackDown, not a Shield reunion. I said, you goddamn right. This is supposed to be Raw versus SmackDown. What are we doing? But great spot. I also love how they protected Braun Strowman because that was a funny way to eliminate him. My man is out the ring. He's trying to get back in, and here comes No Chin Music. For whatever reason, holding onto his leg from under the ring. Go ahead, Jay.
I'm going to have to give you the right to censor real quick. So where were you the 2002 Survivor Series when Jericho tried to screw over the Rock? Was you not a fan of that?
That was 2001.
2001, excuse me. Was you a fan of that? That was Team on Team Crime.
You got a point.
Was that Team on Team? I don't. You know what?
Yes, it was.
It was. It very much was.
2001.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I remember now. That was like at the end when Undertaker said bullshit and all that.
Right. Exactly. That's right. You're the one that told us he said that.
That's true. You did.
I forgot about that. I literally forgot about that.
Oh, you got to put down that bait.
I do.
Yeah, there we go.
There's a little too much THC
but I do think that the piggyback on what Gene was saying. I mean, this match, there's so many stories here. I mean, I want to go a little bit further back too.
Also, shout out to Luke Harper. It was great seeing Luke Harper again. I almost teared up seeing him and Bray Wyatt. I ain't gonna lie, because that was the end of the match. I believe Luke Harper came out of nowhere and helped finish off Raw, which is pretty dope. I enjoyed that.
I do want to sit here and say, because there were so many elements here. I do like, so we had this mini Shield reunion. I'm not gonna say we had a Wyatt reunion, but seeing Bray and Braun in the ring together, because Bray was the one who brought in Braun, and even when Bray's trying to come back home, and Braun is like, absolutely not. And he hits like this big ass drop kick.
That was a funny spot too, because Chris Jericho, I'm the captain. You listen to me.
Matter of fact, it's a fun story. I mean, Jericho said it throughout the years, but it's a fun story because there's one where he has his interaction with Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon's throwing these wild ass. And when you watch it, you can see where Jericho's getting frustrated because he's throwing wild punches, and he's really tagging Jericho to the point where Jericho's like, "Okay, I got you." And in wrestling, there's something called receipts. So Jericho climbs up and he says, and I'll never forget, he says something, I hit this missile drop kick like Bruce Lee or something like that. And he really hits Shane. Like he hits Shane really good. And then he says, calm the fuck down. And I'm pretty sure Shane calmed down after that because he was getting tagged. That's a while. Because listen, we know what wrestling is. The art is to make it look like you're hurting your opponent, but not actually hurting him. And Shane must have really thought he was at a UFC training and he was slugging him. But I just wanted to talk because I loved what Jean Baptiste talked about when he was talking about James Ellsworth, and he stopped Braun Strowman. So just to give back a little bit of a little background here. So when James Ellsworth first showed up on WWE TV, it was on an episode of Raw. This was probably the first episode of Raw since the brand split. And he was Braun Strowman's first opponent. And he said some of the lines is anybody with two hands stand a chance. It's some inspiring shit until you realize that this man gets his ass kicked by Braun Strowman. After a while, it's not inspiring anymore. It inspires me not to get in Braun Strowman's way. But something backstage I thought was funny was that James Ellsworth, he's talking to Mick Foley, and he's talking about all these great memories of Mick Foley, and they all include Mick Foley getting hurt. So Mick Foley even says, "Hey, do you have any good memories of me not getting hurt?" And he talks about him, and Mick Foley tries to get James Ellsworth on Raw, but he's like, "Nah, I'm a SmackDown guy." He's like, cool, all respect. But when James Ellsworth turned around and you see him, and I don't remember this, but as I'm watching this, and you see him with Braun Strowman says, "Hey, aren't you familiar?" And you see James Ellsworth, and James Ellsworth probably said, "You're damn right, I'm familiar," because he cost that man his shot to get in. And I hear what Jim was saying about how he was protected. You know, he gave him the count out, gave SmackDown the count out win. But I was like, wait, how did James Ellsworth stop this big man? Like, I don't care. Like, how did he stop him? But whatever. And he sure as hell paid for being on Team SmackDown because he got clobbered. This man got dominated, and like in such great fashion. Like, so I have to switch it up now. Yeah, you gotta add the sniff with it.
But I really sniff now.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. He got dominated. Yeah, you gotta go. Dominated.
I'm in. Sold.
So he gets it right there. Come on, right there. Come on, boom, right there. But I really love this. I feel like I'm so mad because I feel like I'm not including everything. You know, he talked about the Cheryl spot, and I love this stuff. Like how he was mentioned. One of the things I love about Survivor Series when it's done right, and you have these teams and all these people, and it gives me like this comic book feel. So like you might read a comic, right? And you might have Spider-Man teaming up with Dr. Octavius for whatever reason. There's a bigger threat, and they have to team up to get this big threat, right? And they're trying to work together, but somehow there's some calamity that happens, and they just start like not getting along. Something happens, and that's happened here. Like Team Raw's not getting along. Jericho with his list, and I thought it was so funny when KO got disqualified because he used the list. Jericho upset about his list. He's picking up all this paper, only for Randy Orton to RKO him. And I also like the teams here. I thought the teams were great. I don't think there was any weak part of these teams. I think everyone played their role well, and there was that scary bump Shane had. You know, that was crazy, right? Like it was. I don't know if I peeped it when we watched it live. I don't remember, but when you watch it back, you could see he was out. But I'm talking so much. There's so much I loved about this match. I loved the elements here. SmackDown winning. I was glad that SmackDown. I was glad that it didn't go where Roman eliminated the last two people because I thought that would have been ridiculous. Sometimes I kind of don't like that stuff. I think if it's done right, yeah. But I think in this setting, I don't think this was the part to do it at. So. I'm talking a lot. Rich Kings, and I'll give you the floor here, and then Mark, next Mark. Rich Kings, I'm so sorry I took the floor so much. What did you think about this match?
No, it's really one of my favorite 505 Survivor Series matches in general. It was just like a lot of heavy hitting action. Like it was a long match, but like it should be a match within a match. I felt like so there was those elements of that. I love that pregame package that they show, right? Like. In case you missed it, here's how we got here. And I think that if you were just away, and then like all us right now, we're reviewing it. If we don't have that right memory, it's bringing us up to speed. And I think they did a really good job telling those stories. I love like Jericho. I know you're a big Jericho fan. I like Jericho. He's kind of funny. Like ask him. You know, he's he's just so. Charismatic. It's just great. Like he just made the match funner. Obviously, Chase you were talking about was pretty dope. Disqualification and that kind of match. I'm like, Really?
You didn't like that? Okay.
I mean, I'm not a fan of the disqualification. Like I think people do a little bit less and they stick around, right? So
it's not light.
But it's like what are we doing? So that's the only thing my gripe with the match was what was with that. Shane McMahon obviously doing his Shane McMahon moment. That spirit he took, like I think the referee did the right thing by saying, "Listen, his arm is actually up, so I'm not gonna sit here and count to 3." So he did it like I think it was like watching. I don't think it was a fair like botch. Like, is this guy okay or not? Like let's throw him out TKO. Like it is what it is. So I think like watching the referee, watching the match, like the only thing I like I said, the disqualification and then the commentary. Like you guys know, we talked about last episode. I'm a big Michael Cole fan, right? Mm-hmm. On Tonga and these other like just stop. It should have been JBL, Graves, and it should have been Michael Cole. It should have been 3 or
I like that team right there. No, I do like that team.
Cause like even on Tonga, I'm like, are you there? Like he was so bad. I think he did worse. Like he's a worse commentator than he was a wrestler, and that's saying something because he was an awful wrestler. So for him to be bad, I wasn't a fan. No, he's just not. I was like, I would have fired him like after the like, you're out. You just can't do this anymore. We have no space for you. So like, I loved it. Like, listen, the Wyatts. I was a little irritated when it happened in real time. I'm still irritated. It happened after, like
I love that.
Roman Reigns and like Luke Harper coming out and doing his spot. That was good. Like I'll give her. Jeffrey said this backline with the storyline. We didn't know if Randy Orton was real or not, but he took that pin. Yeah, RKO out of nowhere. Like he did his job, and later the rest was history. But it was a fun match. I enjoyed it, and Mark.
Yeah, Mark, please.
So, this match, I also loved it. I gotta echo everybody's sentiments here. This match was wonderful. I've got a bunch of notes if you guys don't mind. So yeah, we had great action between AJ and KO to start. Jericho's mannerisms here, absolutely excellent. I loved it. This guy, he just has this. It's interesting, right? Because I don't know if he was a face or heel because the Toronto crowd. Toronto's a wrestling city, so they're gonna cheer and they're gonna boo who they're gonna cheer and they're gonna boo. But they was loving Jericho the same way I was loving Jericho, and like he had heel mannerisms. But I'm like, yo, if you like it, I love it. You know what I mean? I don't mean that sarcastically. Like this was phenomenal. The commentators with this the lunatic fringe, right? Like this moniker is so good. Yeah. It's so good on paper, but the way these commentators used it, I don't know. It just did not work.
No,
I hate it. Yeah, the lunatic fringe, the lunatic fringe. This has damn near nothing to do with the match. But Shane had the Air Jordan 31s, and I saw that, and I was hyped because I had the blue ones. Yeah, so like the sneakers that he had, I had the blue version of those, and I was kind of hyped. But that Olympic colorway, that shit was fire. To piggyback on, I don't remember who said it, but Shane Slugs, the way he was out there throwing those punches.
Yeah,
he was really hitting the punching bag. Like I'm looking like when I saw that, I was
saw
like,
the strikes.
Wow. I saw the strikes, and I was like, yo, it looked like because like there's 2 things I noticed. His punches were like really like in to like make sure like boom, you're gonna feel it. But then I also noticed that his hands weren't open. So like he had them fists.
They were closed.
Yeah, like you gotta open them. As someone that made some mistakes with my strikes in a wrestling ring, I know now you got to make sure your fist is open so you don't get that full impact. So yeah, I can imagine that Jericho's like, yo, calm the fuck down. It was hilarious seeing AJ get Dean eliminated. I don't remember exactly what AJ did, but he basically
just watched.
No. It was more than just watching. I want to
the back of the head after. You're right.
Yeah, he hit him. He hit Dean with something, and that's when Braun hit him with the. I want to say it was a power slam. Not sure.
You're right. That was. You're right. Yeah.
And then he just watched. What else happens here? Braun gets screwed by Ellsworth. That was hilarious. And then Braun gets the immediate revenge. He's like, listen. Immediate revenge. Yes.
You know what they call that? They call that in Canada instant revenge.
Instant revenge. The commentators, this is where the commentators was lit. I want to say it was Michael Cole. He goes, Braun Strowman has destroyed James Ellsworth. And JBL just immediately was like, good.
No, JBL was always good at
yeah. You know, other than calling Dolph Ziggler. Well, I'll let that one ride.
Where were you trying to go, JBL?
You know, there was definitely that point where, you know, Jericho asked the ref, ask him. You got him in the whole ask him. And he said, tap, damn it, tap. You know what I love about, and I blame Rich King for making me like love this line so much. Like Jericho did the most basic thing. It would be a elbow and lock headlock or whatever, and it'd be the first 2 minutes of the match. Axe him. Like the match just started. What's it called? Elbow and collar tie up. That's what it's called. Axe him. But go ahead. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. KO gets DQ because he's hitting people with the list. Jericho gets RKO'd almost immediately after, and the papers on the list are all over the place. And Jericho at this point gives zero shits about the match. He's like, I need my list. Give me my papers. I need my list. And then the commentators are selling this too. They're like, it's his life's work. He's got to. Bro, when they said that's his life work, I'm like, oh, it's not like this guy is a well-traveled athlete. Not like he went to ECW, WCW, New Japan. It's not like he's traveled the world. This list with a bunch of names on it is his life work. Way to go. Apparently, it's like almost like ripping any of Picasso's paintings. That's what I got out of this. So then, boom. After some time, we got so boom, right? When Jericho, so here's an interesting thing I noticed. When Jericho gets RKO'd, I don't know what Seth is doing, and Roman Reigns is looking at God knows what. Like, so we're just letting Jericho just eat this pin because he gets RKO'd, he gets pinned, and Roman Reigns is like looking outside of the ring for something. I have no idea what's going on, why he's doing it, and I'm just looking like, yo, what is going on? They just they basically fed Jericho to the wolves. That shit was hilarious. Roman eventually, at some point, he comes in and he starts to clear house. Then Shane comes in with these, one damage punches, right? Then all of a sudden he starts to roll the Shield, like he's dominating these motherfuckers. I'm like, what is going on? What happens here? So after I think he takes Seth out again. Seth is no longer in the picture. We got Roman set up for the coast to coast, except not really. He gets speared. Now, right, Rich Kings is 100% correct. The ref made the right call because this is exactly what happened based on how I saw it. Because I had to run this back. I was like, what is going on? How did he kick out of this? Right? Because he gets speared, and it's a hard spear. And it's interesting because I remember that spear, but I don't remember the kick out situation. So he gets speared, and Shane, you know how they say, oh, they're running on instinct? Shane's literally running on instinct here. Like, I think this is where Shane is supposed to stay down, but because he got knocked so hard, his instinct is like, nah.
Right. Yeah. No, it's true.
His instinct is like, nah. And I'm like, wait, how did he get his arm up? So I had to go back and I was like, wait, he really got his arm up. The ref made a good call. But then the ref was like, no, get him out the match. Get him out the match, which was the right call because he was at least not then. Like when they got him out the ring and he started walking back, I'm glad he was able to walk back. Yeah. But he definitely got his soul knocked out of it for about 2 minutes because I saw that and I screamed. I was like, how did he get his shoulder up?
That was a scary moment, and shout out to Randy Orton because he actually broke character and went to Shane's kid to console him, like, yo, he's all right. He's going to be all right. He good. So shout out to Randy Orton for that one.
Indeed. But yeah, I remember like when I first saw it, I was like, this is the in-ring awareness of the decade. Like I was incredibly impressed. And then I saw what happened and I was like, okay, cool, got it. But this is wrestler instinct, and he doesn't even have. I don't want to say that many matches, but like when you compare Shane to a wrestler, he doesn't have that many matches. So like to see that, I was mind blown. Like,
just a little bit because I mean, we give him a shout, but shout out to Shane too. I remember this reel I saw some time ago. And you hear about like a lot of people give a lot of these second, third generation wrestlers a hard time. They'll be like, oh, you only here because of your last name, blah blah. Some weak shit and whatever. Mm-hmm. But like they'll call them nepo babies. That's the new thing, right? But Shane, they go with Shane's been doing this for the love of the game. If you look at like 99, I mean, we did a review on SummerSlam 2000, and Shane took that incredibly dangerous fall where he's falling from great heights when he had that match with Steve Blackman, jumping off of, I forgot what this was, like
the Titantron, I think.
Yeah, and Backlash 2001. I mean, he's been doing all this stuff. Like, listen, truth of the matter is, this guy don't have to do that. He's set exactly, and yet he goes out there and take these crazy. Because like, what billionaire is jumping off a turnbuckle and taking that crazy? It was a crazy spot, and I remember as you was mentioning it, my first glance of it, right? Because no one knew off rip like what was going on with Shane, right? But at first glance, you're like, okay, Shane, like, because you're thinking like this guy is just kicking out, and you're like, until you really look in his eyes, and you can really,
right? He's running on instinct.
Right. So, shout out to him on that. But I mean, I think we're all in agreement here that this match was just so good, and it's just what a Survivor Series match should be.
10 out of 10. Hands down, 10 out of 10.
It was really good. I thought everyone told their stories very well. I mean, the mini Shield reunion, the stories going on with each brand, I just think they've done a really great job. And Gene Baptiste was saying this earlier. When you see Luke Harper, Brody, and Bray Wyatt in the ring, it makes you go like, man, these guys should still be here. And that's the thing too, when you watch wrestling for a long time, and you see people like John Cena's retiring this year, AJ's going to be retiring next year. I just saw on my phone Fandango, the guy named formerly Fandango, he's retiring. He said after a TNA pay-per-view, because he's in TNA now, and I'm just like, wow, all these people are just retiring. I don't know, it just makes you realize you've been watching wrestling for such a long period of time. But
we were all there for John Cena's first match with Kurt Angle. Now we're about to be here for his last one. So it's like, damn, our generation is done.
I did notice that this was 2016, so this is not even 10 years ago. But this definitely had this pay-per-view had a different type of nostalgia, and it was really interesting to see. Because like we've been alluding to here and there throughout the podcast. To see like certain characters, make their growth. Like for example, Roman. It's really interesting seeing Roman getting these chants. Like Roman Toronto. So like right. I don't remember the exact story about why they did not like Roman. I remember it was something about they felt like he was being stuffed down our throats. Something about they wanted somebody to win a Royal Rumble, and instead Roman won it. I think
Daniel Bryan.
It was Rusev. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, you're talking about the final two. It was
Daniel Bryan had came back. He got in the Royal Rumble. He got eliminated. And when he got eliminated, everybody knew it was going to be Roman. So they started chanting Rusev.
He's right.
Just
they chanted for him once they saw it was the last two.
It was the funny thing. Just the year prior, I don't know if it was Daniel Bryan who got eliminated, but everybody knew Bautista was going to win. So they started chanting for Roman to win that Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
that's what they say. Fans are fickle. Like I believe that 100%. As much as a fan as I am, I can admit that I'm very fickle and whatnot. I can admit that totally. So like when people say fans are fickle, and sometimes wrestling fans, no, we're not. Yeah, you are.
But the chants were hilarious because now Roman's in the ring, and some of the funny chants. There was Roman's teammate, because they're not chanting for Roman. They're chanting for
anybody else that's not Roman.
Right. Yeah, so like Roman's teammate. There was a Let's Go SmackDown. Like, mind you, we done had 2 other Survivor Series matches, and not a single show in particular was rooted for. For right now, at this point, when it's just Roman and Seth left, Let's Go SmackDown. Like, the hate for Roman Reigns was something else.
Well, there was one.
It was Daniel Bryan's fault.
There's one that even goes as far as they said Roman is sleeping.
Yeah, he was out the ring for a little bit, and they just started chanting Roman sleeping, and I'm just like, he really is sleeping, but damn, exposed.
No, they wasn't a fan of Roman. They wasn't a fan of what they were doing and his character, and that's why I just think a character change was much needed. I mean, the way so. You know how Gene's not a big fan of Charlotte. My only issue I've ever had with Charlotte was the way she was always. I just felt like she was always the way she was booked. To answer your question, it was the way that she was booked, and I felt like what a lot of fans with Roman was the way he was booked. They just did not like. They were like, "No, this is not our guy. You cannot make this our guy. You cannot." And they did everything in their power to really make him the guy. From the changing of the blue they gave him blue contacts. If you remember, they gave him blue contact. They tried to do all these things, and then they're writing his promos, and I mean, it didn't feel organic.
It was a Cena syndrome. It was a 2011 Cena syndrome.
See, you say 2011. I think it goes a little bit further. I mean, they were already turning on him in 05 and mainly in 06. They cheered for Triple H at WrestleMania 22.
They did.
They did. So it goes a lot further than that. But like, yeah, nonetheless, though, like, you know, I'm sorry, I just got a text it. But you know what? Well, I want to wait for Rich Kings to come in.
Since we're waiting, I have one more point I want to make about this match.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we had the Shield reunion, and I guess I should have waited for Rich Kings at this point too. But they did this. They did the power bomb.
I know what you're going with.
Dean Ambrose with the lazy hand.
It is lazy. It is very lazy, and it's so noticeable too because you see Roman's doing the heavy lifting. You see Seth, he's like putting some effort into, and then here's Dean, like, go.
But what was really interesting about this particular lazy hand power bomb from Dean was like it was two things. A, Dean is the one that like technically initiated it because he's already gone. He's not even in this match. But he come back like, nah, I didn't like what like he thought about it and he was like, you know what? I didn't like what AJ did. I need to get this receipt. I need to get this back. So he gets it back, he starts beating him up. Security's like, yo, what are you doing? And then the Shield is like, I have an idea. And they start beating up on security. And they really beating them up because at one point Roman just like grabs somebody like, get out of here.
He does fling one. He does fling one guy. Yeah.
So
and I know that.
So then, like I said, Dean Ambrose is the one that initiated this. Without Dean Ambrose, we don't even get this power bomb. Without this Dean Ambrose AJ conflict, we don't even get this power bomb, arguably. And yet, the camera angle has the nerve, the gall, the audacity to have it from like a third-person Dean Ambrose view, so you cannot miss. You cannot miss this lazy one-hand power bomb from Dean. It's right behind him. You can't miss it. It's like Dean Ambrose is the main character, and all you see is
it's a lazy move.
Shout out to the cameraman. He probably came from Maury.
That's hilarious.
You are not the power bomber.
So with that said, because we are at the main event. Mark wins. There's this new segment, Flowers for Rich Kings, because when we did Saturday Night Main Event, he just suggested this as a segment here, and we're hoping to make this a big make this a main feature and more reviews and stuff. So Mark wins. Are you ready?
Yes.
Fuck!
I feel like that was beautifully timed.
I must have missed something. What was?
The fuck? It was beautiful. It was a beautifully timed.
I just felt like when making that intro, I was just like, something's missing. I was like, oh, okay, there we go. So, Mark wins. You got the floor here, and Rich Kings, he's the one giving the homework here on what should be booked or something like that. Like, tell us how this segment works.
Yes, Mark loves some chaos, right? So I think, he has had a comment with WWE. They love chaos, and sometimes they don't push our time the right way. So we want to see or look in Mark's eyes. Mark, how would you rebook some of these wrestlers, we like to say, right? So who's the first one up here? Who do we have up here?
Carmella. We got Carmella.
All right, so Carmella was a part of the losing team, I believe. She was on Team SmackDown. It's fair to say this time of the year, Carmella was not getting she should be pushed different. She should be different, right? She was a little different with Carmella. So how would you have rebooked Carmella during this time in this phrase?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably would not have rebooked her. If anything, I would have had her lose sooner. Like I looked back at this and I did all the research. Trust me, I did this. So I understand that I think it was 2018. That's when she won the Money in the Bank. She had several failed attempts, and then at some point she beat Charlotte for the belt. And good for her on that. But I did the research after I rewatched what she did in this match. Because I was confused. I was like, why did Rich Kings pick Carmella? I don't see it. I don't understand what's going on here. If anything, she didn't do anything. And I'm like, we're if it's up to me, she's booked properly in this particular match. And I'm gonna get, if anything, we have Nia Jax eliminate her. I'm not 100% sure why Nia Jax tagged in Alicia Fox to get the pin. But whatever, she's gone. She goes. I have nothing for her. Not here, not now, and not in 2016. I get it. She's the princess from Staten Island. She already got that moniker. She got the moonwalk. Her moonwalk is clean. I ain't gonna lie. Her moonwalk is clean. It could be, it could be improved in terms of maybe I think she might have rushed it a little bit, but other than that, the moonwalk's clean. But I think I think you do one or two things. If Carmella's who you gonna push, you push her and you get her into you leave her in the match longer. But in this match, I didn't see nothing. Like I said, I didn't know that she won a championship until after I researched it. There's nothing. I have nothing. Like I said, if anything, she gets eliminated a couple seconds earlier. Nia Jax does the job, or not the job, but Nia Jax gets the pin.
Gotcha. So, and the court, we got the great, we got Gene. Is the court agree?
Completely agreed. 2016 Carmella, smoothest moonwalk in the business. But that's all you had.
2016 Carmella is not the same as 2018 and later on. I think she definitely got a lot better as time went on. But I just want to be sure that I got this right. Are we talking about 2016 Carmella? Should she have been booked like how she's been booked on this show? I just want to be sure.
Yeah, the question is, should, in all retrospect, right? She lost. This is how she was this year, right? Do we rebook this? Do we change anything different to help her trajectory moving forward?
Yes, stop lying and saying she's the queen of Staten Island when she's from Jersey.
I would say at this point,
Sorry, go on.
I'm trying to wrap it as we ran the 2 hour thing. I don't mean to ruin the fun there. I'm just trying to wrap it up here. How would I think I would I agree with Mark. I don't know if she should have got eliminated quicker or anything like that, but the way she was booked on the show was fine. It was fine. I wouldn't change nothing.
So I guess I'm in a minority here. Obviously, I would have just booked her a little bit differently. If anybody should have been eliminated first, should have been Natalia.
Number 75.
Wait.
Agreed.
What? Natalia should have been first?
Yeah. Listen. She's a replacement, a substitute teacher. Get out.
She's replacing Nikki Bella. That enhances the team.
Next.
No.
He got a point.
Wait. Time out. Before we go next, Natalia does not objectively enhance the team by her replacing Nikki Bella.
No. 2016, no.
I would sit here and say,
okay,
hold up.
So wait, when we're looking at the SmackDown team and we're looking at Raw's team,
yes,
right? We're saying that Nikki Bella.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now let's move on to the very next segment because you're not going to win this one, Mark. I'm telling you that right now. Sometimes you just got to say, okay.
I will. We'll talk online on why you think that could be. All right, who do we have next on the list?
Yes. Who's the next?
Oh, we got Jason Jordan. Jason Jordan is next. So Jason Jordan, so Jason Jordan is why I rewatched that match and why I rate that 10v10 so highly, even though technically, theoretically, on paper, it probably should be rated a little bit lower. But like I said, other than the first two eliminations, match was phenomenal. Jason Jordan had this one kind of sort of green botch, and I had to look him up to see how long he's been wrestling. Apparently, he had been in wrestling for at least a year. He'd been as part of American Alpha for at least a year. So what happens is he gets tagged in. American Alpha hits their tag team move or whatever on who was it? Let me see if I can. Maybe I don't have it. Whatever. He hits the tag team move on somebody, and Chad Gable has to be like, "Go in there, pin him." So like, apparently he's still a little green. That was a weird botch to me. I was like, what's going on here? Get him out of here. That was my initial reaction. But then the match went on, and I was like, oh, Jason Jordan kind of lit. Like, this is fire. And then as soon as I say that, I think it was either Luke Gallows or the other guy that was on the scene that eliminates him. And I was like, damn, that's it? Sad story. If I'm booking this, they are. So I like the end with not quite the bar yet and the Usos. I think I would have, even though Rhino and Heath Slater are the tag team champions for SmackDown, whatever. I don't care about them. I liked American Alpha, even with the green botch from Jason Jordan. I have Jason Jordan eat the pin from Cesaro, and that's where we get not quite the bar yet versus the Usos. That's what I would do.
Do y'all disagree?
You know what? I really don't disagree. Those two, American Alpha was giving off a lot of world's greatest tag team vibes, but they weren't better than the Usos. So I would say, yeah, second to last team to be eliminated is perfectly fine with me.
Sorry, I had to unmute it. So I want to make sure I got this right. Did you have the Usos being? I'm sorry, American Alpha being in the finals, like going against?
No. Second to last. Like that's the team that
I like
the final four team.
I like that. I do like that because one, they were a young upcoming team. You can provide them to be players. Because I immediately was going to disagree because I was going to be like, I just like that that little mini matchup that we got between the Usos and the bar, not the bar yet.
Yeah.
But, if you're saying like in that final one, yeah, you know, I'm not mad at that. That's not bad, and it helps American Alpha because they were still a new team on SmackDown, and you put some fuel into them, and you could just show that hey, these are players. So I like it. I dig it.
Man, I'm disagreeing a lot. So I would have had them.
You like chaos, huh?
No, well, but this thing, I would have them be in the end. The reason why is what I complained about during the match. There are no real good tag teams on SmackDown. The Usos is already solidified as a tag team at that time, right? So they've been around for a little while. They already had the tag team belts. You got to create some kind of momentum with somebody else. I think, like, same way how they created the momentum with Cesaro and Sheamus to create the bar. This is a new team. Why are we not doing the same thing for SmackDown? And they're in more desperate need at that time for some tag team blood. If you really want some good tag team action, we could have had the Usos versus the New Day. I mean, we didn't ask for that. They got eliminated first, right? We could have had a real team like Luke Gallows and the other guy. No one knows this other guy, Carl Anderson.
I know.
So that's a real tag team. They could have won against the Usos. But if we're doing experimentary tag teams and lifting teams up for the future, I think it would have been a great future match with the Alpha Academy and the Bar. So
I could agree to that certain point, but then you got to look at the fact that with the Usos, I guess because they've been there longer, a veteran tag team, especially when you're experimenting with not the Bar yet, trying to see how they fit into the tag division. I wouldn't put an experimental team with another green experimental team because American Alpha, yeah, they were solid, but you're still kind of experimenting with them. So in that case, booking it, I can see why it should have been not the Bar and the Usos. Only because the Usos, the chemistry and their I guess the veteran status that they have, the in-ring capabilities.
My only takeaway with what you're saying, they wasn't experimenting with American Alpha. I'm sorry, I know I always mix them up. They were just a new team because they were a team for a minute on NXT, and there's a totally different vibe from NXT into the main roster. Now, I didn't see that spot that you was talking about, Mark, when you were saying he's like, go pin him. And maybe that was a part of the whole thing, like, hey, they're new here and stuff like that, even though it still sounds silly because you've had many matches. So I understand that 100%, but I just wanted to throw out that they have been a team for a minute, and I don't have like this timetable on it and stuff like that, but just to throw that out there.
That's fair.
There was a time where Jason Jordan was going through many tag teams, and everyone failed him, and then he eventually gave Gable a shot, and they proved to be a really, really good team. But I just wanted to give that little context.
I ain't gonna lie though. I like Rich King's concept where like make them the finalists. I'm not gonna lie, I like it because my whole thing. The only reason why I didn't make them the finalists is because I thought that not the Bar yet, and the Usos did like carry the match. Like they not carry, but like they were the like, and they really helped make that match more than what it is. But I could see not quite the Bar yet versus American Alpha in the finals. I'm with that. Let's take it to the logical extreme. I'm with it.
That's a whole nother time.
It's not a bad idea because, like I said, American Alpha gives off world's greatest tag team vibe. So it's like, yeah, I could see why you would put them in the end. Like it's not a bad idea, not at all. But I also understand why they went with the Usos. They played it safe with the Usos.
Yeah. I think that's a fair take. I think that's a fair take. What's the last one before we get to that main event? I'm sorry, who was it?
Luke Harper.
Ooh.
So I have a burning hot take with Luke Harper. And my burning hot take with Luke Harper is that Luke Harper barely added anything to this match. He got beat. And if I looked back, I came prepared. He got hit more than he did any hitting. I think he hit somebody with a kick, and then everybody else beat him up. He was basically an extra body, and you can make the argument that he was the extra body that helped Bray and Orton take it, because instead of just being two people to fight, it's 2.5, 3 people to fight because you got Luke Harper outside. But other than that, he didn't really add anything to the match. So if I'm booking Luke Harper here, I don't. He's not in this match. Or he has even a more limited role. I don't. He did not. Look at, whenever you get a chance. It's because it's not very long. It's not very long. It's maybe 10 minutes. Watch his 10 minutes in the ring. He's a meat shield. Not even a meat shield. He's, like I said, he's just an extra body. He doesn't really add anything to the match. And I get it when you're looking at the grand scheme. And to be very fair, I did not have this context when I was watching this match. I was watching it just to watch it and for this segment. I didn't have the context of Luke Harper not believing that Randy Orton he didn't know if Randy Orton was a real Wyatt or not. So with that, I understand it now. But if I'm booking this with what I saw at the time, he's not even in the match. Because he did nothing in terms of, like I said, my perspective is just this match. I don't have the context. He did nothing. He gave one person a kick, and he was just an extra meat shield. I would have preferred Roman and Seth against Bray and Randy Orton without the interference or lack thereof.
So, I know Rich King was going to sit here and ask the floor here. So you said you would have took out Luke Harper out of this match here. I hear your points. I don't think they're like awful points. I think you came prepared, and that's great. Matter of fact, when you said he got beat, I thought he was talking about when he lost to Kane because there was like a heat match or something like that, or what do you call these? I forget what they were. They were like pre-show matches, and I think he lost to like Kane or something like that. So that's what I thought you were talking about. I was like, "Whoa, this guy really came prepared." But
I didn't even know that.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, you see, yeah. Okay. Because I was looking up the results. I said he lost to Kane. I don't remember this. I really don't remember it at all. I would have kept Luke Harper in the match because if you don't have him in the match, then you have Roman and Seth go over because I just cannot see in any kind of world. And mind you, the Wyatts have beaten the Shield. I know that. I just don't see at that point Bray and Randy going over, and I think they want. And also too, I think I'm just looking at the story. I hear, like I said, totally 100% hear you. Not saying you're off. You're not saying you're. I mean, you're a writer, so you get this stuff. But I just believe like you got to have him in there so he can, like you said, he was the one getting the attack. He did that on purpose, just so like, yeah, hit me. And then when Roman turns around, guess what happened? Sister Abigail, get out of my ring. You are bothering me. I just think that was the whole purpose. So I wouldn't have took out Luke Harper here on this one. But good takes, though. Good takes. Jean Baptiste.
Definitely would have kept Luke Harper in there because him serving as a meat shield served his purpose. That was his purpose. Your whole point is to try to make sure that your brand wins. You do what you got to do to make sure the brand wins. And this is just me talking like if I didn't know the context of the story behind it. But knowing the story, the context of it, like Luke Harper was to Randy Orton what Jey Uso was to Sami Zayn. Like, you don't belong here. You're not a Wyatt. Get your stupid ass out of here. I don't trust you. I don't know why he wants you here. But now you keep him in the match because I do agree with Ron. I mean, the chance to improve up my bad. I just Amy Dumas' name.
To be fair, you done it to all three. Well, Mark has his shoot name, but you've called me and Rich King about our shoot names. It's all right, brother. Keep shooting.
Right from the hip, baby. Right from the hip. But no, I to agree with Poobah. Like, as good as Randy Orton was, and you know him and Bray being tag champs and up and coming, they're getting better and better and better. They don't have the same chemistry as Seth and Roman. So without Luke Harper, I couldn't see those two beating them. Not two former Shield members. Nah. So that would definitely have kept Luke Harper in there.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I would keep Luke Harper in there. The only thing is, I think it'll make it a little bit more dominant. Like a few more boots, like a little bit more of a presence in there. I mean, he had a nice spot with Seth where he flipped him over on his feet. That was great. But, like, you know, the best what Luke Harper did was moving Roman Reigns out with his head at the end of the match. That was, like, the best thing that he did where he just pretty much mowed him out the ring. So I think for him, I would have rebooked him because, like, this guy went on to the future win multiple tag team champions, right? And I think for him at that time, make him a little bit more dominant. Like, come on, we got Braun in the match. You got Bray Wyatt in the match. Like, come on, make him a little bit more dominant. That's all. Especially while he was celebrating the end of the match. You thought he was in the damn match. So, come on.
He was celebrating when he really
that's a lot. No, Rich Kane's is pretty much saying he seemed like the guy who just got off the bench. He said, "Good job, team."
Something like that, yeah. Like that's like I said, that was the angle I came
that's
with. But I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I didn't have the context, so
that's
maybe
fair.
I was a little underprepared here, like because I didn't understand that. So I guess you do have, but I agree with Rich King said we got to make him a little bit more dominant. But
and I think that's a fair. You
either make him more dominant or you don't have him in the match. I don't because like I said,
and you know what? And I think that's fair points because I mean, I get what you're saying. You're saying, what did you do? And that's your whole purpose. And you're like, and I think he still did his job because his whole job was to distract, and he did that. But I do see what you're saying.
Which is fair.
But I do get what you're saying is like, help me.
I mean, to be fair, Luke Harper wasn't really the more dominant of the Wyatts. If you really think about it, with all the members they had, the most dominant member was Braun. That was their kill or be killed character right there. That person was unstoppable. He was a monster for a reason. Luke Harper.
Create a new picture.
Like, even if we try to paint the new picture, right? You got Randy Orton in there. They're not going to make Luke Harper bigger than Randy or more dominant than Randy.
So
like, too much star power.
And I think that was my point. I think if it's up to me, without the context of the greater story, I just want to see Bray and Randy Orton versus Seth and Roman. Now, if you sit there and you're like, oh, it doesn't make sense for Bray and Orton to go over, 2 out of 3 Shield members, I understand that. That's cool. I know what I would have booked and what I see. Because I'm not gonna lie, the match could have went either way without. I didn't even think of like what the result of the match would be without Luke Harper. I didn't even think of that. I didn't think that too far. Like I kind of just assumed that Bray and Orton would win, but it makes sense that they wouldn't if Luke is not there. And from there, you further the storyline where Luke is like, the fuck was y'all doing? What is this Randy Orton guy doing here? It should have been me. But like I said, I didn't know the grander.
And that's fair. I mean, I look forward to more of this segment here. And with that said, let's get into the main event. I mean, maybe we'll make a whole main event intro thing so everyone knows the last part here. Let's talk about it. This whole show was built around Brock Lesnar going against a returning Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg, who hasn't been in the ring in 8 years. So let's paint a picture.
They said 12 in the show. I remember that number really specifically. They said 12.
It was 12. He wasn't seen since 04, WrestleMania 04.
You're right. Okay.
So yeah, 2016 it would definitely be 12 years.
All right. Thank you for that. I stay correct. Yes.
So was there not did he not have a secret dark match in some random whatchamacallit, and that's why you got 8?
No, I just thought I heard 8. I messed up. That was on my end.
Okay. Cool.
But you guys said 12 years. All right. So this whole thing's build up. Bill Goldberg haven't had a match in 12 years. So they make this video game called 2K27. And
17.
I said 7, right? Thank you. I'm sorry. I loved 07. SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 was fantastic.
It was.
But yes, I stand corrected. SVR. I said SVR. I'm going back in time. You know what it is? We've been going for so long now. I'm mixing up my whole notes and everything here. But we have WWE 2K17. It's coming out. Brock Lesnar's on the cover. Bill Goldberg, I think, is featured as a character or something like that. And they have what would happen if these guys would get in the ring. Like, we didn't see that awful match at WrestleMania 20. But anyway, everyone is like, what would happen? What would happen? And Brock Lesnar's like, I would kill him. I would fucking kill him. Like, what are we even talking about? Bill Goldberg says, you've been mentioning my name, and, I got to see if I have one more spear and one more jackhammer. Do I have it? Brock Lesnar, you're last. And he lied to me, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
Like, just spread in the air, nothing but fantastic fabrication.
Fantastic fabrication.
Yes.
I need to write that down. Infamous quote of Grand Slam Poobah. Fantastic fabrication. The Grand Slam Poobah. Fantastic fabrication.
Because it's not ordinary fabrication. It's like top of the line. So like he tells me he's last. I'm like, okay, cool. But I will sit here and say this. Brock Lesnar comes out, and this was different here. Brock Lesnar is very rare that he comes out first. So he comes out first. And then you hear, Bill Goldberg's music. Everyone knows I'm Bill Goldberg's number 1 hater. But I'm not gonna hold you guys.
Number 2.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, Brett. I'm sorry. I forgot Brett is I'm so sorry, Brett. I take it out. I'm Bill Goldberg's number 2. And I think Rich King is I think he would be a good number 3, right, Rich Kings? Or we tied at number 2?
I think it's too even, bro. Like right there fighting that hard.
No, this is so fair. I told you guys that one of the shows I want to review is 1998 Starcade, so I'm going to pull the curtain back a little bit. Me and Rich King high-fived each other when Bill Goldberg lost. I'm not going to hold you. We cheered each other. We were some happy kids, right, Rich Kings? We were like, yeah.
Yeah. If Bret Hart's taking off his jacket, we're pulling it off, and I'm like, F Goldberg.
Now, 18 years later, what was your face at the end of Survivor Series?
We'll get there. We'll get there. So rude. So, but I will sit here and say, I thought that Bill Goldberg coming out to his old WCW theme. I mean, Bill Goldberg's number 2 hater, but I just thought it was cool. It's like, it's very iconic. Like him coming out and he has the security. It just brought me back to an awful time in WCW when he would come out. But I'm not going to lie. It was cool. I'm not going to hold you. It was cool. He comes out and, he comes out, the sparks and everything. He does Bill Goldberg things. He roars and he, all that stuff. So let's talk about it, right? I want to talk about my mindset in 2016 and my mindset in 2025. 2016. Okay, let me paint a picture. 2016, we're at this reviewing show. Me, Rich Kings, and Mark Wins. Rich King says, I'm going to step away for a minute. I'm like, I bet. I remember Mark Wins kept saying, yo, if he keeps us under a minute, he has a chance. I immediately scuffed at the idea of this. I immediately just said, okay. I immediately said, right, he writes fantasies. Okay. So I'm watching this match. And Bill Goldberg, first Brock Lesnar looked like he's going to attack him. Goldberg shoves him. So Brock laughs, and I immediately laughs. I even put a comedy track in my head when I saw this. So Goldberg hits a spear. So I immediately go, oh. I said, yeah, whatever. So then when Brock gets up again, he gets speared again. Fear kicks in. So I'm sitting there saying, nah, this can't be the way. And I remember like watching this whole time, and Goldberg, he locks in this a really aggressive jackhammer. He like picks up Brock like this, and then he just lifts him up. So then I see the jackhammer. I said, nah, Brock Lesnar's a world eater. Like he kicks out of shit, right? Like he's gonna kick out of this. Then I hear 3. And I remember like I was befuddled. I felt like confusion was used on me by a Pokemon. I didn't know what to make of this situation that has happened before me. So I'm clearly confused. Rich Kings comes out of the shadows. I don't even know where this man came from. And he stands beside me because he felt the confusion, the heartbreak on what we have just witnessed. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to point out see, when I made this picture, I wanted to give credit to one Mark Wins about this. But here, ladies and gentlemen, I've talked about this picture countless times, but on this day, on Survivor Series 2016, both me and Rich Kings sit there. We are confused. I don't know what to make of any of this. Rich Kings, we are just highly upset that Bill Goldberg won. We didn't know what to fucking do.
It's hilarious because if you look at Rich King, it looks like he just said, what? You can
hear it. But here's the whole thing. As before this show started, it took me 9 years to realize this. I look in the back, and there's Bill Goldberg in my picture. And I said, this man has constantly been trying to ruin my life.
You can see the conversation right before this picture was taken. Like Grand Slam Poobah is looking and saying, here's Rich Kings. What happened? Goldberg won. What? And then this picture was just snapped right then and there on the spot. Like,
nah, you gotta understand them. Because they held this face for mad long. Because like I really had to like I'm sitting here, I'm hyped, and I see their faces, and I'm like, oh, this is gold. And I take out my phone. Mind you, it's a mid-level Android, so it takes a while to like load up. So they held this face for mad long. They were disgusting.
You know what? If I could be serious for a moment, how Lance Storm would say, right?
Yes.
Thinking about that match, right? Brock, you lost the first time. And I'm a big person. You gotta look at history. How do you defend Bill Goldberg? Bret Hart. What Brock Lesnar should have done was had a vest and had a metal plate wrapped around him. And he should have scouted Bret Hart's finish move. It's going to be a spear. So when he spears me and he collapsed because I got this metal plate, but Brock Lesnar did not look at the history, did not follow Bret Hart's lead, And
No.
he went in thinking that he was better. And he lost.
Terrible. And terrible.
And what, a minute and 26 seconds? I literally just got back to the table.
Yeah, bro. Like, no, he really did. No, he's not lying because bro stepped away. He said, "I'll be right back." And by the time he came back, I have to ask you, Rich King, because you stepped away.
Because we had those freaking wings, and I'm like, let's take care of this bill now so we can get the hell up out of here when it's time to go.
Yes. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that did not happen just now. Tell me that just did not happen just now. It was awful. Now, coming back to now, 2020.
Yes.
It hurts me to say this, but that it's the right move. It was just for Bill Goldberg to win. Listen, I was happy that he lost his last match, as he should have. But
me too. It made Gunther the greatest babyface of all time. But go ahead.
I loved it. But when I come back and thinking about this right now, that character, you did so much to just talk about Goldberg, and for him to lose at the height of the hype would have been major disappointment. It just didn't make sense. When he came in with all the hype, and he The Rock went over let's take me out. It was good. So you have to do that again. And like you said, a nostalgia with the WCW entrance. I will say this: Toronto, they ran out of they had no stamina. They stopped saying Goldberg before he came back, before the fireworks came. They were like, "We're tired of chanting. It's over." But
yes.
He had to win that match in our retrospect. So it was the right move, a move that I was not a fan of, but it is what it is.
I do want to add on to what he said.
To win that,
he did. He
the reason why I say that is because he committed one of the biggest lies beforehand. He told Brock Lesnar, "You're last." In my mind,
fantastic fabrication.
Fantastic fabrication. It came out and you told Brock Lesnar you're last. In my mind, that means this is your last match. I don't expect you. What retirement match have you ever seen where the person retiring wins the title and walks away?
To be fair, it was never actually a retirement match. He said it, and I get that, and I get it words, right? But I wanted to piggyback because I totally looking back at this, I agree. So once again, my mindset in 2016, Brock Lesnar's the world eater. He ended the streak. I mean, he pretty much, this word gets abused a lot, but he literally squashed John Cena in the main event of SummerSlam. So you're looking at all these things that Brock has done up to that point. He hasn't really lost the match. That one time he lost the match was 2015 to Undertaker, and he didn't even tap or get pinned. He just passed out. But other than that, Brock Lesnar has been well protected. So when I see this in 2016, I'm like, why would Goldberg is semi-retired? Why would you have him be the one to do it, right? But when you look back at it, you're absolutely right. And when you look at the annals of history, and it's revealed that Brock Lesnar was the one who put this idea together and realized that there was business that could be made here. He saw the business signs and stuff like that. Shout out to him on that.
Over a commercial though. A commercial.
Listen, there was still nostalgia is a hell of a drug. There were still people who wanted to see Goldberg, and they realized that, and they did it, and they made this deal. And I'm Bill Goldberg's number 2 hater. So I hear you, but it was the proper move, and this is coming from me.
It's wild to even hear you guys say that.
You're one of the people that wanted this. You were claiming that was one of the best matches you've seen, and
you did say that.
Let me tell you something, and I am more than happy to admit I don't know what the fuck kind of drug I was on back then. Because even when I rewatched it, I said, "Why did I say this was good? This was absolutely terrible." So I can be wrong, but when it came to I guess the rematch, I'm the one who actually said it. I think when I first saw the first commercial, I'm like, "Oh, they're about to have a match again," just because there was just one small scene in the first commercial they debuted, where Goldberg is in a car or a taxi, he's driving, and the sign just said Suplex City. I'm like, oh, they're about to really have a match.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry because he's right. He wasn't in an Uber. He was in the back of a police car.
Wherever the hell he was, I just remember he was in the back of a police car. He's driving. They're driving, and I just see it was just a small frame, but he caught one of the reflections of the exit, and it said Exit F5 Suplex City. I'm like, They're really about to make Goldberg and Brock Lesnar run this back.
I'm glad. I am so glad that you drive, because the way you mistake, like, that was Uber. This man would get in the car. Yeah, just taking me to my house. Hey, why are we in front of a police cell? What the fuck was that? What the hell was that? Yo, I'm gonna put the commercial in the chat, and maybe we can real, because that is just Gene Baptiste. Your awareness. Just stay inside. Sorry, go ahead. But no, he did call that, because I remember when we would be on the phone. To give Gene Baptiste his flowers here, he would point that out to me, and I'm pretty sure I shunned it off, like, yeah, whatever. And sure enough, they did. And I mean, we're all talking here. But the Bill Goldberg fans should really talk here. So Mark wins. You've watched this match back after many years, I want to say. What are your thoughts? I don't know if you have any thoughts from 2016. I feel like you revealed a little bit of that, but in 2025, what did you think about this moment?
So, as a Goldberg fan, what I did was I immediately compared this to like his last match that he had a couple of months ago, and the energy's different. Like, his last match, he probably shouldn't have had that match. He was hurt. I could tell. You could feel it. Like, the energy from him ain't the same. And then WWE cut him off. That's just whatever. I'm not even gonna get into
Well, if I could just cut in real quick, they asked Bill Goldberg's favorite fan, Bret Hart, what he thought about it, and Bret Hart said, "I would have cut it off sooner." I love how Bret wouldn't even give him an opportunity to speak. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, like I compared it to that, and I was like, wow, the energy was totally different. Like, this is Goldberg. As far as the match, I kind of sort of called it. I remember at the time I was like, yo, if this match goes, I said 60 seconds, not realizing that it would go 90 seconds. But yeah, if this match is under a minute, Goldberg wins. Like, it's no more complicated than that. And sure enough, I almost called it. I missed it by 26 seconds, but I called it.
Technically, you didn't, because if you really count it, I'd say like the first 45 seconds was the introductions, then the bell rings, 2 spears and a jackhammer, and it was over. If I was to give that match an estimated time from the opening bell to that pin bell, I would say probably less than 30, but maybe between 30-45 seconds at best.
1 minute and 26.
So no. I'm saying
1 minute.
They're counting the match they counted the match overall, but I'm saying from them competing with opening bell to when they fought, that was nowhere near.
Well, tell you what, why don't someone do it?
No, time out. Because I remember counting, and when I counted, I remember counting 90. So from the opening bell to the closing bell, it's 100. It's 96 seconds. No, that's not 96. That's 86 seconds. Now, from when they actually like clash, like physically clash, it's probably less than that, obviously, right? I think that's what Gene Baptiste is trying to say. From the moment they clashed, it's less than it's obviously less than 86 seconds.
It's a 5-second giveaway because Brock Lesnar went at him, and that's all he got. So the bell rang, and he did attack him. So we're talking 3 to 5 seconds, which is nothing.
All right, listen. All I know is
you like it. I love it.
Like, to your point, like, it was let's say 2 minutes, 2 minute match.
Sure, I would even say under 2 minutes, but okay, no.
Yeah, that's all. If he did that, he should have won tomorrow's one.
At the end of the day, if I rate this match, the match has 2 ratings. I can give it 2 objective ratings. It's either 10 out of 10. Excellent match, is what you expect. Absolutely, this is what we came to see, Goldberg. Or it's 1 out of 10. This is shit. I don't believe this. Can't believe this happened. There's no in between. For me, it's a 10 out of 10. I am at for Goldberg fans around the world, 10 out of 10. For Goldberg haters, and I know they're all around the world too, it's about a 50-50 split.
That was the best picture you could put up there. Like, I'm doing a face in my head like, really? 10 out of 10.
Yes, because as a Goldberg
finest.
fan, that's what you wanted to see. That's the reason why I was able to call it, because I'm like, if this is a short match, he's done. That's it. There's nothing to talk about. Like, we're filling, like, honestly, this is filler. Like, we shouldn't be talking about this match for very long because it wasn't that long. Like, this is filler. So it's either it's either a 10 out of 10 match because that's what you want to see as a Goldberg fan, and that's because you want to see the Goldberg spectacle, or it's 1 out of 10. It's shit. I didn't come here to see this shit. I wanted to see a wrestling match. It's that simple. There's no in between. Anybody who's like, oh, it's a 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, shut up. No, it's 10 out of 10 or 1 out of 10. That's it.
I didn't come to see a wrestling match. I came to see him get dominated. And unfortunately, he did the domination. I wanted to see the suplex. I wanted to see him fall on his neck. I wanted to see his son. I want to see the shield. I wanted to see the parents shield them. Like, you shouldn't see that. What I got.
Fair enough. It's still a 1 out of 10. Okay, I hear you. It's still 1 out of 10.
I only even give it a 1. Honestly, if we're being
I mean, I guess
we're watch Brock Lesnar. It's crazy.
Like,
it is crazy.
NA does not apply.
That's fantastic. You know, this was a fun pay-per-view. I was really looking forward to reviewing this show with you guys. I admit I didn't know we were going to go so long with this, but this has been such a fun review. I mean, this was such a fun pay-per-view. There was some misses on the show, like we talked about the tag match. I mean, Mark, you said you pretty much was cool with that match. Correct, right?
I said I enjoyed it only because, like I said, I had to review it for the segment. But otherwise, I mostly agree with y'all. It was a mess until it wasn't.
It was a lot of people in it. So there were some weak spots what I'm trying to get at with the show. Like, I thought that the Continental match, it wasn't bad, but it just didn't do anything for me. The tag match, there was just too much human people in this. And, I mean, the Survivor Series matches were fun. I thought they were very, very fun. And, you know, this match right here, Brock versus I mean, our conversation was a lot longer than the match. I sit here and say that this is the review for the Survivor Series 2016. So we're going to end it here because 4-hour show is ridiculous. So we're going to end it here. And I'm going to give the floor to you, Jen. So I'll give you the floor first, Jean Baptiste. Where can people find you if you want to be found on this thing called social media?
Thanksgiving, I make my return to PlayStation Network. It's been a long time. Took a quick breather from it. Just taking care of personal things. But yeah, I'll be back on Twitch come November 25th. We ain't got nothing to do. I will be doing Ninja Gaiden 4. Rest in peace to the creator. He recently passed before he could see his final work of art actually put out there. So as tribute, I'm going to go all out 24-hour session on Ninja Gaiden. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be screaming curses and drinking a lot. So yeah, definitely join me on that. That's going to be a fun day. Mark it on your calendars. It'll be Desert Storm 459 on Twitch TV. You can find me on Instagram, also Desert Storm 459. And you'll definitely find me here doing more reviews on the Big Pop Theory. Shout out to D Grand Poobah.
Thank you.
I gotta write a book of some of your infamous quotes. This fabrication quote is amazing.
Thank you. Fantastic. I think I put down the timestamp for it, but then I didn't write like why, you know, like fantastic fabricator for the number. So I gotta look it up. Mark Wins, you're starting to do some content yourself here. Where can people find you?
Yes, you can find me on Legend Number M on YouTube. I got retro content going. I just checked. I heard Jean Baptiste's idea about Ninja Gaiden 4. And I was like, maybe I should do one of the old Ninja Gaidens. He didn't do the old Ninja Gaiden, so I'm not going to do that. But I probably will check out Jean Baptiste on Twitch. But yeah, if you want to see some short form content right quick, I got a bunch of what do they call it? I think they call it single segment speed runs. On shorts, and I got some long form content coming up soon. I have a really interesting idea for Donkey Kong Country coming up, and I got a bunch of ideas coming up. But Yes, that sound effect. That's a real sound. That's a real sound effect. Actually, like I've heard it a couple of times. It's funny, but yeah. Find me on Legend Number M on YouTube.
Rich Kings, where can people find you, sir?
I'm right here. As usual, comfortable this year.
I love how
I love
nonchalant he is about this.
Yeah, but
Yes,
also
yes.
it's been a while. Usually he says more, but this is going on long enough.
It's been a long show, I know. And honestly, the Big Pop Theory podcast, we have a Gmail. So if you have any questions, any idea for suggestions for our content, please hit us there at the Big Pop Theory podcast at gmail.com. We have a YouTube. So if you're watching this, clearly on YouTube. But we also have an Instagram and a Twitter. We're going to try to get some stuff going on those social media platforms. And with that said, we should be back the following week talking about another edition of Survivor Series. We should be having an audio podcast this weekend. We do it every other weekend until 2026. We might change things up a little bit, but we're trying to get some content here, keep the audio content going. And we want to thank you guys for watching this long. So if you stayed with us, thank you. Very much appreciated. And that was Survivors 2016. And we'll be back with more Retrospect review.